You know, they're having some turnover, but they still have a few familiar names this season.
Yeah, you know, they did. They lost. I think I put the other night, they only have 6 guys that have played against us on their roster. So it's kind of a new group of guys. They still got some young people on their team too. They're still trying to learn their way. But I mean, anytime you've got a guy like Kareem South in your backcourt, you're going to be in good shape. He's probably one of the better guards in this league for the past two or 3 years now. Just a really good balanced guy who can score it, mid-range, 3. And then, you know, Elijah Schmidt inside has been a really nice post guy for them, really rebounds it and plays hard, does a lot of the little things. You know, and you're right. I think we have kind of forged a pretty good rivalry. And I think a lot of that has to do with, you know, Willis being there and Coach being here and them knowing each other for so long and our staffs knowing each other so well and just for so long. And it is kind of a nice little rivalry close by and it's become, you know, good for both schools, I think. You know, they've got some Houston kids and they always bring a good group, you know, in here. So it should be a good environment again tonight.
Seems like they out-rebound their opponents by about 5 a game, but it seems like if you keep them off the boards, you can beat them. I know that's probably an oversimplification, but they average 41 rebounds in their 9 wins and 29 rebounds in their 11 losses.
I was unaware there'd be math today.
I did it for you.
Thank you. No, that's pretty good. I mean, it's one of those things where I think when they're able to attack the glass and control the backboards, they're a lot more effective. And that's one of the things we've got to do. They've got a couple of athletes and a couple of bigs that really pound the glass, and we've got to do a good job there. And we've got to continue to work hard on the offensive glass. You know, if we're going to continue to play the pace we want to play and we're going to get tons of shots, you know, there's going to be some misses, and we've got to be able to clean some of that up ourselves and give ourselves second and third opportunities. So I think you're right. I think the glass is a big factor tonight, and who can control this game.
And I was going to also ask you about pace of play, and you lead right into that too. It seems like their style, as far as getting it up and down the floor, is different than ours.
Yeah, and I think that's part of what they've had to do, you know, with so many new faces and kind of integrating some new people and things like that, and you know, just trying to muck it up a little bit, you know, and play really solid defense. Maybe not slow offense, but methodical and get things done and get good shots. And of course, you know, we want to run and we want to get the ball out. I think the other night against Incarnate Word, we were able to do that, you know, get the ball out quickly, or get it off of, you know, a miss or whatever and get the ball up the floor quickly. And when we can do that, we've got the players that can get up and down the floor. But we also give ourselves an opportunity to get more shots. And I think anytime you can get a lot more shots, the better off you're going to be.
And it'll be nice if they don't shoot like 60% from the floor like UIW did.
Great, wouldn't it? I mean, we looked at that after the game, and it's like, you know, we've had 2 or 3 of those this year where, you know, teams have just kind of, you know, gone bonkers when they're not used to doing that. And I think that helped keep Incarnate Word in the game the other night was their ability to knock down some threes. You know, we just got to continue to work hard to get out to shooters, good closeouts, and make guys that are shooters do something different besides just catch and shoot.
Should be a lively place tonight. Couple in a row at home. Good luck this evening.
Thank you, Lonnie. Appreciate it.
Stephen Key, assistant coach for the Huskies. We're going to take a timeout. Come back with more on the Huskies pregame report after this.
Run with UA Map My Run. With your UA connected footwear, you can leave your phone behind. However, if you choose to run with it, the UA Map My Run app will give map views of your route and a deeper look at your workout with additional stats.
We are Under Armour. The future is ours!
Under Armour.
I'm Robin.
And I'm Chris.
We're the brothers behind Firehouse Subs.
Back when we were firemen, when it came to food, we said it better be something good and a lot of it.
That's what you get at Firehouse Subs. Take our hook and ladder sub. Smoked turkey breasts, Virginia honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese, all steam heated and piled high on a toasted sub roll.
Our way beats their way. If you don't agree, it's free.
You're going to cover that, right?
My money's on the sub.
Love the confidence.
Firehouse Sub, founded by firemen.
Building Houston to compete on the world stage is what we do at the IBEW. It's important to us that Houston knows why we do what we do, not just what we do. Sure, we're the best electricians. We train 10,000 hours to be the best. But we get up early so Houston is built to compete. To be the best, hire the best. Skilled labor isn't cheap, and cheap labor just isn't all that skilled.
The time is now to hire IBEW electricians.
4 Points by Sheraton. Always a great stay. Everything you need. Plus extras you love. All for a great rate. Over 150 hotels around the world. Travel the way you like. Check us out at 4points.com.
Hi, this is Ron Cottrell, head coach of the HBU Huskies. Thanks for listening to Huskies basketball on the DNA Husky Sports Network.
Back on the Huskies pregame show, and it's time for our game time chat with the head coach, Ron Cottrell, as we get ready for the A&M-Corpus Christi Islanders tonight. And, Coach, it's nice to come into a home game carrying the momentum of a road win with you.
Yeah, well, anytime we can be in sharp, it's a good day. But certainly coming off of a win on the road is very nice for our guys, and hopefully it'll create us some momentum going into what's going to be a really tough game tonight.
As you look back on that one Wednesday night, and we talked a little bit about this following the game, but how significant is it that you guys did not first dig themselves a real deep hole in that first half, but then were able to come out of it and hang on to the lead there on the road?
Yeah, that's something we've been talking with our guys a lot about, is put ourselves in a position in the first half where the second half is going to be a game of runs back and forth, but you're not in a hole trying to get the run just to get out of the hole, but to try to build a lead. And we were able to put ourselves in a good position by halftime. And then the second half, it went back and forth. I mean, we were down 6 with 9 minutes to go, and the guys didn't panic. They continued to do what we needed to do, but it was significant that it was a 6-point deficit instead of a 15-point deficit that we were trying to fight our way out of, and certainly we were able to make plays down the stretch that we needed to make to be able to win the ball game.
Braxton Bonds had a career night for you. He does so many different things for you, game in and game out, but it's very rare that he carries the scoring load for you like he did the other night. What was opening up all the opportunities for him?
Well, I think they were playing out on a lot of our other guys and left driving lanes for him to be able to get to the rim and finish, and not – they didn't help off and where he was dumping off. I mean, Braxton, as you said, does a lot of different things for our team that possibly go unnoticed by a lot of people, just because he knows how to run our team, knows what we have to do to be able to get the ball to the right guys, and then defensively is the point person of our defense, and so he carries a lot of load on a nightly basis. But just so happened the other night it was scoring that we needed, and he was able to get to the rim and finish plays.
And you've had some shifts in your rotation. Some of the guys are getting more minutes now. I think specifically of Ty Dalton, and Osuji has had a couple of good games in a row. Jalen the other night had a great second half. Do you feel like this team is maybe starting to develop a rhythm there?
I'd like to think so. I think, yeah, we've had to kind of do some shifting in what we do, and anytime you move your lineup around, it creates different rhythms among your team in different rotations and substitutions, and that takes a while for guys to develop chemistry playing together, and so it took us longer than we would like to find kind of where we wanted to be with our rotations, but certainly I think the guys are feeling pretty comfortable right now with who's in at different times of the game and who's playing together, because it's not just a matter of who starts, it's who comes in and ends up being on the court together at different times during the ball game.
Well, the standings are still fairly well bunched up, with the exception of a couple of teams out at the top. Corpus Christi in town tonight. They're one of those teams that are kind of right there in the mix. What have you seen from Willis Wilson's team this season?
Well, they're certainly a team that's going to play hard and be aggressive, and defensively they're going to, man-to-man defense, come after you, just be up in you, and they're a really good rebounding team. That's one of the teams that up there with us, I think, in a lot of stats in rebounding, and so we're going to do a good job of blocking them out and trying to keep control of the glass. We've got to do a better job of taking care of the ball, because they're going to come pressure us quite a bit and try to do everything they can to get us out of our offense. We want to push the ball more than they do. There's no doubt about about that. We want to create pace, create tempo. We've got to be able to get out and get rebounds, even after made baskets, and push the ball up the court and make them have to play us in transition. That's important for us. I think they're probably going to come with some sort of three-quarter court pressure to try to slow us down as best they can. It's important for us to take care of the ball and not just get it across midcourt, but try to attack them whenever we do break their press. And then defensively for us, we've got to do a really good job on South and Gray and Bobick and those guys that really can shoot the ball on the perimeter. And then, the big guys inside are very solid. I mean, they're not quite as big as we are, except for Tony Lewis, but they're certainly agile. We've seen that a lot lately with different opponents where our bigs have had to go out on the floor and guard out on the floor. We're going to see that again some tonight.
You mentioned the backcourt pressure when you have the basketball in, and there have been times when it's created some issues for you. Are you satisfied with the progress in that area?
It's something we've worked on in practice and talked to the guys a lot about. We've got to stay with our principles of our press offense and keep the floor spacing. If we keep the floor spaced, I feel really good about our guys making the right decision, making the right pass. And then once you pass out of a trap, you've got advantage. We want to take advantage of that. We want to go to the rim and try to finish plays. For us, it's just staying with our principles and keeping the court spaced and then hitting the open guy.
Next two games at home here at Sharp Gym. A couple of wins away from right there being in the middle of that pack that we talked about in the standings. These, I hate to overstate it, but these are going to be important games.
Certainly every game right now is very, very important for us. We dug ourselves into a bit of a hole, and now we've got a couple home games. So tonight's game is really big for us to come out and continuing to build some momentum and get back in that race.
Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Ron Cottrell, the head coach of the Huskies. We're going to take a timeout and come back with starting lineups and then all the play-by-play on the Husky Sports Network.
Box combo with a lemonade, please.
At Raising Cane's, we do one thing, and we do it better than anyone else. So why not let our food do the talking? We hand-cut our lemons daily. They're fresh squeezed and mixed with 100% natural cane sugar.
Love in the window.
Raising Cane's, only the best chicken finger meals. One love.
At Shipley Donuts, we make our donuts from scratch every single day. Nothing trucked in, frozen. And we are Texas born and raised since 1936. Not like those other guys. Shipley Donuts.
Anyone can get you ready. Holiday Inn Express gets you the readiest. Because ready gives a pep talk. Showtime. But the readiest gives a pep rally.
Holiday Inn Express. Be the readiest.
You're listening to the Husky Sports Network, powered by DNA Studios.
And back here at Sharp Gym, welcome back in. Just about set for tonight's opening tip-off. But right now, let's introduce the starting lineups to you. First of all, for the visitors from Texas A&M-Corpus Christi, the Islanders under head coach Willis Wilson, who's in his 8th season at the helm of the program in Corpus and his 22nd season overall as a head coach. He sends out this starting five. Jayshawn Talton, a 6'5", 215-pound junior from Oklahoma City, 7.5 points per game. Kareem South, the leading scorer on this team, 13 points per game. He's from Toronto, Ontario, a 6'2", 185-pound junior. They'll be joined by Elijah Smith, a 6'8", 195-pound junior from Spring, and he went to Klein High School here in the Houston area. And Emmanuel Toney, senior, 6'2", 185, out of Bowie, Maryland, Annapolis area Christian school. Toney averaging 7 points per game. And then Jake Babick, a 6'5", senior from Oakville, Ontario, and Appalachian State rounds out the starting five for Willis Wilson. And then for the Huskies, they will send out this starting five. Familiar names to you, especially for the last 3 games. They've gone out with the same starting five in the backcourt. At the point, Braxton Bonds had a career night on Wednesday against Incarnate Word. 6'2", redshirt senior from Nashville. He'll be joined in the backcourt by the senior from Kincaid, Stephen Osuji. And on the wings, Ian DeBose, a 6'4", sophomore from Durham, Carolina, 18.5 points per game for Ian. And then Ty Dalton making his 3rd consecutive start, 6'4", sophomore from Second Baptist High School here in Houston, Rounding out the starting five will be Edward Hart, the senior, 6'10", 245 pounds from Phoenix and Deer Valley High School. And those are your starting lineups. We're going to take one more break. When we come back, it'll be time for the opening tip-off. Stick with us. It's coming up on the Husky Sports Network.
It would be great if human beings were great at being human. And if all of mankind were made up of kind women and kind men. It would be wonderful if common knowledge was knowledge commonly known. And if the light from being enlightened into every heart was shown. It would be glorious if neighbors were neighborly, and indifference a forgotten word. It would be awesome if we shared everything, and being greedy was absurd. It would be spectacular if the golden rule was golden to every man, and the good things that we ever did was everything that we can.
Treating others like we'd like to be treated has always been our guiding principle.
Marriott Houston West Chase, a proud partner of HBU Athletics.
You're listening to the Husky Sports Network, powered by DNA Studios.
What's on your mind, kid? Make it fast.
I'd like to work here at Jimmy John's, world's greatest gourmet sandwich shop, sir.
Why do you want to work at Jimmy John's, kid?
I'm perfect for Jimmy John's.
Doing what?
Delivery.
Delivery?
Delivery.
We deliver pretty fast here at Jimmy John's.
That's what I heard.
What'd you hear?
You deliver pretty fast here at Jimmy John's.
Then you heard right.
I'm a fast study, sir.
You know the Jim John's slogan?
The Jimmy John's slogan?
Jim John's slogan is sub so fast you'll freak.
Sub so fast you'll freak is a swell slogan, sir.
When people call for a Jimmy John's sandwich, they want it fast.
Then I'm your man, sir.
How so?
Because I'm fast.
Fast at what?
Fast at everything.
Can you deliver fast?
I can deliver fast.
How fast?
I can run a 440 and 220.
Minutes?
No seconds.
That's fast. You delivered before?
I delivered newspapers before.
Were you fast?
Very fast.
How fast?
People got tomorrow's paper today.
That's fast.
So do I have the job?
Not so fast. How do I know you're not just some fast talker?
I can get your references.
When?
Now.
These are good references.
Thank you.
But at Jimmy John's, you gotta be more than fast.
More than fast?
You gotta be polite.
Fast and polite?
Fast and polite.
I can do fast and polite.
Okay, give me some time to think it over.
Okay.
Okay, I've thought it over. When can you start?
Now.
Now it's good. What's your name, kid?
Stefan Avalabopoulos.
Too long. How about Ed?
Ed's fine.
Welcome aboard, Ed.
Jimmy John's Subs, an official sponsor of HBU Athletics.
Hi, I'm Ron Cottrell. Thanks for listening to HBU Basketball on the DNA Husky Sports Network.
And welcome back into Sharp Gym. Just about set to go. Lonnie King and Neil Raphael along with you for the ride tonight. And we're glad to have you along. Crowd is starting to fill in here, Neil. I imagine within the first 10 minutes or so of this ballgame, we'll have a packed house here tonight.
Yeah, this is a great crowd for a Saturday night here in Houston, and expecting some great basketball tonight with two really good teams.
Well, the Huskies are being introduced, and the Islanders introduced here in the arena. Gives us a little bit of an opportunity to talk about why this rivalry, as it is, has kind of become as such for people who followed Houston area basketball for a while. You know that Willis Wilson was the head coach at Rice for many years, and he and Coach Cottrell have known each other probably 25 years or more, and the coaching staffs have known each other. There's a lot of respect between these two coaches and their staffs for one another, and they're both a little bit fiery at times too. And so the competitive juices get flowing good and plenty here whenever these two teams get together.
Yeah, both those gentlemen, Coach Cottrell's been here over 20 years. Willis Wilson was at Rice, I think, 11 or 12 years. So they were in the city for a long time. They ran into each other on the recruiting trails. They tried to compete for the same athletes. So, yeah, they've got a long history, and, you know, they look forward to this rivalry every year.
Yeah, and it's a reunion of sorts, because a lot of the folks here on the staff at HBU now, including athletic director Steve Maniaci, were employed by Rice for quite a long time, and so it carries over, and these two teams know each other personally as well as on the court. I look down to our right, and I see Roger Henshaw, one of the assistant coaches for the football team, up against the wall over here. He was a defensive coach for the Rice Owls football team for several years, so you know he's here because he knows these guys very well. We're just about set to go First half about to get underway. Our officiating crew tonight is Brad Fowler, Doug George, and Steven Chiara. And Chiara has the basketball. He will toss it up in the middle. As soon as the coaches have given their final instructions, the teams will head out to the middle of the floor, and we'll get this one underway. The Huskies in their home white uniforms this evening with the blue numerals and letters and orange trim. And the Islanders in their road blue uniforms with the green and white trim.
First meeting between these. Next meeting will be in March 9th in Corpus.
And the tip is up, and it's going to be controlled by Kareem South for the Islanders, and we're underway. They'll take it into the front court, moving right to left here as you listen in and look on in the first half. Schmidt with his back to the basket is going to hand it off to Talton. Talton in the right corner, picked up by Dalton. Dalton on Talton, and he puts up a shot. It won't go, and the rebound is pulled down by the Huskies. Osuji on the move. He's going to take it up, go right to the rack, and he's going to be fouled on his way. And that's going to be on Kareem South.
I like the aggressiveness so far, Lonnie, of Osuji's attack in the middle of that Corpus Christi defense.
Yeah, he's been in the starting lineups now. This is his third consecutive game. We know he had a string of games earlier this year in non-conference play where he got several starts in a row. And he's brought a little spark to the team. Gets the first free throw to go here. The Huskies first on the board, 19:32 to go. One more free throw to come for Suge. And it is good as well, 2 for 2. And it's a 2-0 ball game. Babick will bring it across the timeline, picked up by DuBose. He'll leave it for Talton. Goes back outside to Tony, Emmanuel Tony. Hart comes out to pick him up. They go down low to Schmidt, and Schmidt walks, trying to turn toward the paint. This is going to be an interesting challenge for Ed and the other bigs tonight because the lineup for the Huskies is bigger, but that may mean that Ed has to come out on the perimeter a little more than he's used to.
No doubt.
Dalton on the left angle, gets it out top to Hart. Ed's going to dribble to the left or to the right and leave it for Bonds. Bonds to DuBose, lob it inside, down low to Hart. He's double-teamed, and he's going to be tied up. Kareem South came over to help out.
Yeah, he dropped that ball, did Ed, on the double. He's going to have to kick that out as soon as that double comes, and they're very aware of the amazing year that Ed Hart is having, Lonnie.
Yeah, and we're starting to see that more and more. Here is a shot put up, a little spin move in the paint by Ian DuBose, and he's got his first 2 of the ball game. Huskies are up 4-0 here, 18:38 to go in the first. Babick drives in, dishes out on the wing to Tony. His shot won't go. Hart hit the deck, no whistle, and Dalton comes down with the board for HBU. Gets it off to Bonds, and Bonds will wait for his complete team to get up there. Hart gets the give and go and can't finish it off, but Dalton there to rebound. Gets it right back to Ed. He's fouled, and it won't go down. That would have been sweet to see, but Ed will go to the free throw line.
Ed looks aggressive on both ends. He took the charge down on one end, and he comes in, and he's really posting up hard. He looks good, Lonnie. Just got to keep that young man out of foul trouble.
Yep. That will be critical. Gets the first free throw to go here. 5-0. Ed, the third Husky on the board now. Joins DuBose and Osuji. And the second free throw rattles out, so it's 5-0 Huskies as Islanders head back up the floor. Back goes to Talton.
Yeah, and that's one thing Willis said before the game. They have really struggled in the beginning of these contests as Corpus Christi, so a fast start for them is important.
The jumper from the free throw circle put up by Schmidt, and we've got a foul away from the basketball on the loose ball. And they're going to call it on Talton. He picks up his first personal, and that's the third on the team now. So we're just barely 2 minutes into this game, and there's already 3 fouls, and Corpus still looking for the first points of the game. Ed out top, going to give it left side to Braxton Bonds. Bonds picked up by Babick. He'll feed it with the bounce pass to Hart. Tried to go inside to DuBose and had it tipped and stripped. Talton on the run, going to leave it for South, and it's blocked from behind by Braxton Bonds. Sends it into the cheerleaders, but I think everyone's okay.
Well, Ed was double down there, and the guards have to help him out. They've got to relocate once that ball goes in the low block and help him out and be available for him.
Corpus Christi basketball, and they get it inbounds. Out top, stolen away by Osuji. Outlet up ahead to Bose. Bounce pass to Bonds, and he tried to give it right back to Ian. Ian mistimed the jump. Here's South going to try to answer with a three. Too strong off the back iron, and Bonds is there for another board. And he's back in a hurry. The Huskies want to push it up as much as possible. Bonds to the rack. Won't go. The rebound pulled down by Schmidt. And we're going to get a whistle, and a foul is going to be called on Edward Hart.
Yeah, I really like the energy of the Huskies tonight. They've come out, and they're getting after it. Right now we're going to have maybe a little pressure in the backcourt.
It's Tony down the lane, and we're going to get a blocking foul called on Ed. Coach Cottrell is incredulous. Stephen Giara with the call, and I don't know, it looked like Ed was set down there, but, well, I was a little bit shielded, so I'll reserve judgment.
I think you're exactly right. He was set. Coach Cottrell's not happy. That's two that Ed's gone to the floor with.
Here's another three from South. It's off the mark, and the rebound pulled down by Ben Uloco, who's checked in. They're going to give Ed a breather with that foul. Huskies get it up the floor into the left corner to Dalton. He'll drive to the middle, then gets a move to the rack, and he scoops it up and in for two.
I mean, anytime you got a 6'11" guy that's going to hit the deck like that, hey, you got to make that call.
7-0 Huskies, 16:28 to go in the first half. Schmidt out top to Tony, tipped and stolen away by DuBose. He's got a run out, and he will jam it down through for two. And the lead is up to 9.
We'll see how long Coach Wilson goes, see if they can play through this. Corpus Christi.
And we've got an offensive foul on Tony. Pushing off on Osuji. And things are going the Huskies' way at the outset tonight.
They really are. The energy, the crowd's into this.
Trey Gray checks in, Kyle Brown as well, and also Tony Lewis. Lewis, the biggest guy on their roster, 6'10". He's a 260-pound junior transfer from Blinn Junior College.
Well, the fact that Ed's out and they're going to throw Tony in and see what he can do down the block.
DuBose with the basketball for the Huskies, feeds Dalton. Dribbles down to the baseline, kicks it cross court into the left corner to Osuji. He'll go baseline left and lay it up and in for two. We've noticed that a lot lately. The Huskies not settling for that contested three, but instead going to the rack, and they've been fairly successful at it lately. Here's a bounce pass inside to Lewis. He'll kick it back out to Brown. Brown right side, and we're going to get a travel on Lewis. And that'll stop the clock for our first media timeout of the first half here. And it has been nothing but HBU early in this one. 11-0. We'll take the break on the Husky Sports Network.
You're listening to the Husky Sports Network, powered by DNA Studios.
It would be great if human beings were great at being human. And if all of mankind were made up of kind women and kind men. It would be wonderful if common knowledge was knowledge commonly known, and if the light from being enlightened into every heart was shown. It would be glorious if neighbors were neighborly, and indifference a forgotten word. It would be awesome if we shared everything, and being greedy was absurd. It would be spectacular if the golden rule was golden to every man. And the good things that we ever did was everything that we can.
Treating others like we'd like to be treated has always been our guiding principle.
Marriott Houston West Chase, a proud partner of HBU Athletics.
You're listening to the Husky Sports Network, powered by DNA Studios.
Both teams have taken 6 shots from the floor tonight. Huskies are 4 of 6, and the Islanders of Texas A&M-Corpus Christi 0 for 6 to start this one. The Huskies have the basketball.
Yeah.
They'll bring it up.
Corpus 0 of 6, 0 of 3 from the line. So we'll see by bringing Lewis in, they're going to start trying to pound it in before they go back out and shoot any additional threes.
Here's a tip and a steal by Lewis. He gets it up ahead to South. South going to try to go up strong, and there are the first points of the ball game. Over Ty Dalton, it's 11-2. Bonds back the other way. He's going to have it knocked out of bounds. He was trying to draw a foul on Miles Brown. Brown did not collect the personal, but got a hand on it, knocks it out of bounds. It'll be Huskies basketball with plenty of time on the shot clock. DeBose will get it out top. Screen from Uloko. Hand it off to Bonds. Bonds on the right wing. Going to get it down to Ben. Ben cross court, has the ball tipped. Saved by Dalton, and he tries to go up. Has it knocked away, but goes up, and he's fouled from behind. I think they're going to get Lewis with the personal. And Ty will go to the free throw line to shoot 2.
A great hesitation by Ty Dalton that time against 2 defenders, allowed them to leave their feet and then establish the contact.
Well, this is the guy that they hoped that they would get when he committed to coming here, transferring from Colby Community College. Gets the free throws to go and extends the lead out to 13-2. You can just see Dalton's confidence growing with every game.
Yeah, early basket. He gets to play in front of the home crowd as well, and being a Houston kid.
And an offensive foul. This one's on Talton. Second foul on Talton. He'll have to check out and go to the bench. And checking in for him will be Irshad Hunt.
And checking in for the Islanders, number 15, Irshad Hunt.
And Oliver Lynch Daniels checking in for the first time this evening. Osuji will go to the bench for HBU, and we've got a push away from the basketball. That's an offensive foul on Ollie. Well, he was a little too obvious with that push off. I could tell from here.
Come on, young man. You just checked in the game. Got to be in 30 seconds before start that.
That's to guarantee he gets on the scorebooks tonight, some way or another.
2-3 zone now for HBU, Lonnie.
A lot of communication out there on the defensive side. Into the corner. They get it to Hunt. Hunt swings it back. And they get it to Lewis on the wing, and he gets it to go. Lewis with his first points of the ball game. It's 13-4. DeBose, left angle to Lynch Daniels. Send it down low to Uloko. He tried to put it high off the glass. Won't go, and the rebound is going to be taken by the Islanders, but Brown is going to lose control, and he double dribbles.
Yeah, Uloko had a great opportunity, posted up really hard, got the ball where he needed it away from the defender. Just got to put a little higher on that glass.
And the Huskies bring it up, and it's picked by Miles Brown. He loses it on the sideline, though, and couldn't control it. The Huskies get a break there as Bonds had his pocket picked, but the Huskies will keep possession. And Bonds will go down to our right to inbound the basketball. 13:41 to go, and the Huskies leading by 9, 13-4. Bonds to Uloko, right back to Braxton. He's going to drive in and go off the window and down through for 2. Well, we saw a lot of that on Wednesday, slashing in through the paint, and he's starting where he left off Wednesday night. 15-4, Huskies up by 11. Brown loses the footings, but gets the pass off to South, and Kareem South from the baseline gets the jumper to go.
Yeah, I understand. A career game on Wednesday night, Lonnie.
29 points. DeBose tries to go to the baseline. He's tripped up as he does. He's going to draw a foul on Tony Lewis. That's the second foul on Lewis, so they're starting to pile up the fouls here.
Just like the pace of the Huskies right now. They're pushing it every opportunity. A&M-Corpus Christi's on their heels, and the Huskies are getting to the rim every single time. Just a nice look, and I like the aggressiveness.
DuBose can't get the front end of the 1-and-1 to go, so the rebound is controlled by the Islanders. The Huskies are already in the bonus for the rest of the half. 13 minutes to go. Here's a jumper from the wing put up by Trey Gray, and he gets it to go. Cuts the lead down to 7. Philip McKenzie is checked in for HBU. He's got the basketball. Left side to Bonds. Cross court to Lynch Daniels. Ollie with the 3. Spins out. Won't stay down. Schmidt, who checked back in, gets the rebound for the Islanders. Off to Brown, knocked out of bounds by Ian DuBose. It'll be Islander basketball.
Yeah, I just see a difference in the Husky offense right now. They're not always settling for the 3. They're looking to attack the rim. They're getting it in, then kicking it out. It just looked very sharp, very efficient.
Corpus Christi inbounds the ball south, out top to Brown. They swing it around the arc. It winds up with Gray on the left angle. He'll get a screen from Schmidt, and then lobs it down as Schmidt cut to the hoop on the pick and roll, and the pass just had a little too much heat on it and goes out of bounds back to the Huskies. Turnover number for Corpus is already at 8 here in the first half. You know that Willis Wilson's not going to be happy about that.
Yeah.
Still got 12 minutes to go.
Did the microwave just check in?
He did. Baby microwave. Jalen Gates, he fired in 18 points in the second half the other night. Here's a tip and a steal on the baseline. South is going to bring it back the other way for the Islanders. Drives in and partially blocked by Bonds, and it's going to go out of bounds off the Huskies. It'll be Islander basketball with 12:06 to go. Gray on the baseline, gets it into South. Cut off as he tried to cut in. Brown back in the corner. They go to Gray. Fires a 3. Won't go, and the rebound by Uloco. Outlet to Bonds. He gives it off to Jay Gates. Gates thought about a 3, but he's going to give it to Bonds instead in the right corner. Bonds will back it out.
Gates with 6 3-pointers in San Antonio Wednesday night.
Ollie's going to drive to the rack. Has it blocked from behind. It'll be Huskies basketball. So we've got a timeout on the floor. The Huskies will have 9 seconds on the shot clock when we come back. And they've got a 15-8 lead on the Huskies Sports Network and HBU TV.
What's on your mind, kid? Make it fast.
I'd like to work here at Jimmy John's, world's greatest gourmet sandwich shop, sir.
Why do you want to work at Jimmy John's, kid?
I'm perfect for Jimmy John's.
Doing what?
Delivery.
Delivery?
Delivery.
We deliver pretty fast here at Jimmy John's.
That's what I heard.
What'd you hear?
You deliver pretty fast here at Jimmy John's.
Then you heard right.
I'm a fast study, sir.
You know the Jim John's slogan?
The Jimmy John's slogan?
Jim John's slogan is sub so fast you'll freak.
Sub so fast you'll freak is a swell slogan, sir.
When people call for a Jimmy John's sandwich, they want it fast.
Then I'm your man, sir.
How so?
Because I'm fast.
Fast at what?
Fast at everything.
Can you deliver fast?
I can deliver fast.
How fast?
I can run in 4:40 and 2:20.
Minutes?
No seconds.
That's fast. You delivered before?
I delivered newspapers before.
Were you fast?
Very fast.
How fast?
People got tomorrow's paper today.
That's fast.
So do I have the job?
Not so fast. How do I know you're not just some fast talker?
I can get your references.
When?
Now.
These are good references.
Thank you.
But at Jimmy John's, you gotta be more than fast.
More than fast.
You gotta be polite.
Fast and polite.
Fast and polite.
I can do fast and polite.
Okay, give me some time to think it over.
Okay.
Okay, I've thought it over. When can you start?
Now.
Now's good. What's your name, kid?
Stefan Avalopoulos.
Too long. How about Ed?
That's fine.
Welcome aboard, Ed.
Jimmy John's Subs, an official sponsor of HBU Athletics.
Hi, I'm Ron Cottrell. Thanks for listening to HBU Basketball on the DNA Husky Sports Network.
Well, since the last media timeout, Corpus Christi has hit 4 field goals. They're up to 33% from the floor. Still no 3-pointers, and they have not been to the free throw line yet. Huskies have not hit a 3 yet either, but they're 50%, 5 of 10 from the floor, and 5 of 7 at the free throw line. They've got the basketball, and inbounds it comes out top to Ollie Lynch-Daniels. He'll feed it to McKenzie, tries to drive in, and he travels. He's trying to draw a contact and pick up or draw a foul on one of the Islanders there in the paint, but instead, in muscling his way through, he carried the basketball and turns it over. For HBU now, that's 6 turnovers. Brown goes to Tony. Tony back out there on the floor. Back out top to Miles Brown. Finds Gray. Gray almost had it stolen by Jalen Gates, but he gets a shot up, does Tony, And the putback goes up and in for Elijah Schmidt, his first points of the ball game. Back to within 5, 15-10, the Huskies with the lead. Into the corner, Bonds to Gates. Gates tiptoeing across, stay in bounds there. Gets it back to Bonds. He's going to spin and drive and won't go. Rebound tipped up, another tip follow, and it's going to be out of bounds off the Huskies.
Several opportunities there above the rim.
Good sign for HBU as they're out to an early lead in rebounding here in this game. Jackson Stent will check in for the first time tonight. Uloko will check out. Stent will play at the 5 as he's done the last couple of games. Tony drives in left side, goes to the baseline, gets it to Schmidt, and Schmidt stepped on the end line, and that'll give it back over to HBU.
Yeah, Tony was in the air, really had nowhere to go, and had to kind of throw it away and turn over for the Islanders.
Huskies bring it back up the floor. Stephen Osuji is back out there. He gets it to McKenzie. Out top to Stent. Jackson dribbles back toward the middle. Leave it for Osuji. Down low tries to go Oliver Lynch Daniels, and who's double teamed down low, and the pass is stolen away. 15-10 still our score as Brown brings it back up. He'll leave it down low for Hunt. Hunt back out top. They swing it around the arc in the hands of South. He'll penetrate, puts up a little runner, won't go off the side of the backboard, and Lynch Daniels back the other way. Jalen Gates is going to fire a 3, too strong off the iron, and a high bounce comes down to Hunt. Up ahead, Tony going to find Gray. Gray for a 3, won't go. The rebound tipped away back out to Tony, though. He'll drive in, tries to go up with a scoop off the window, and we got a timeout called. This is an official's timeout.
Second, third chance opportunities now for the Islanders.
I'm not sure why they stopped the play there, but Huskies will have the basketball. Stephen Chiara talking to Willis Wilson. And Coach Wilson is not happy with whatever he's explaining. Here's Gates going strong to the rack, and he hits the deck hard, but he's going to get free throws out of this.
A 12-4 run for the Islanders, Lonnie. Opportunity here for Gates to get on the board. And
HBU trying to break a 4-minute and 15-second scoreless streak. And Gates will try to do that at the line. Gets the first one to go. For the season, Jay is an 80% free throw shooter. Averages just under 10 points per game. One more free throw to come here. And it rattles, won't stay down. And is pulled off by Hunt. Huskies at a point. They're up by 4, 16-12. Islanders back up the floor. Up ahead, Jalen Clark, who's checked in, has it out top, goes to Brown. Brown to South. Over to Trey Gray, right side. He'll drive in, and we've got an offensive foul as Gray tried to go in over McKenzie, and McKenzie that time did get set and drew the charge. Ian DeBose will check back in for HBU. Lynch Daniels will have a seat.
Yeah, we need to get Ian back on track here, Lonnie.
Osuji with the dribble, goes into the paint, puts it up, blocked. Jalen Clark got a hand on it, knocks it away, but there's a foul on Kyle Brown. Brown draws the personal, and now the Huskies will be in the double bonus the rest of the first half here with 8:50 to go. This is a shooting foul anyway, so 2 free throws for Stephen Osuji. And the first one ripples the cords as it goes down through. One more to come.
Does Ed have 1 or 2 fouls?
He's just got 1.
Yeah, I was expect him to come back
I think
well.
So. It may be a case, though, of Coach Cottrell not wanting to get worn out early, having to play out on the perimeter a little more than he might be used to. We'll see.
Right.
Clark out top, goes to South. South picked up by Osuji, and Osuji got a hand on it. Quick hands by Steven. And he knocks it out of bounds. 17 on the shot clock. South inbounds to Brown. Leaves it for Clark. Back out top to Brown. He's going to drive down right side. Bounce pass on the baseline to Gray. He hesitated and had to pull it back out. Now he's got to fire up a shot at the buzzer. Won't go, and the rebound hits the floor, but it's pulled away by Osuji. Bounce pass intended for McKenzie. A good recovery defense by Gray. Up ahead to Clark. A jumper from the left wing. It won't go, and the rebound comes off to Jackson Stent. Coach Cottrell says, let's try to set this up in the half court. Stent to Gates. Gates thought about a 3, dribbles down, and he's going to be fouled. It's going to be on South. No, check it. It's going to be on Jalen Gates, an offensive foul. And that'll stop the clock with 7:51 to go. Well, we've got another timeout, another chance to take a break, and so we'll do it. Huskies up by 6, 18-12 on the Husky Sports Network.
The real story is I'm in here every morning and have sampled just about every kolache that they make here.
Bacon, egg, and cheese on wheat for me, and then the rest is for the office. So yes, I'll pick up every Friday. I'll stop by here and pick up some for my group.
Well, I used to think it was just fruit-filled stuff, and then I came here and there's eggs and bacon and cheese and all kinds of good stuff in there. It's like a whole breakfast in a bun. It's great.
It's always a good thing if you can eat healthy and not know it.
When you drive down the street looking for something to eat, you're going to pass 5 places to buy a sandwich, 6 places to buy a burger. There's only one place you can get a kolache, and that's Kolache Factory. It's delicious. You're going to have people that try to copy you, but they're not going to do it as well. We know what we're doing. We've been doing it for 25 years. We do it the best, and our success proves that.
Houston's own Kolache Factory, the freshest, highest quality, best tasting kolaches in town. Over 50 Houston area locations and a proud partner of HBU Athletics.
You're listening to the Husky Sports Network, powered by DNA Studios.
7:51 to go here in the first half of play. HBU with a 6-point lead. They've held the lead the entire way. Well, except for the part where we were tied at 0 early in this ball game. Jake Babick back in. Throws it away. Stolen by Braxton Bonds. Gives it to Osuji, drives in, right side, can't get it to go, but Stent with the tip, and he puts it back in.
A nice contribution off the bench tonight for Stent. Big basket there, key rebound.
South with the dribble, left angle. Stent comes over to help out. He'll get it to Clark. Clark to Gray. Gray looking inside. He's going to penetrate, dish it out on the wing to South. A 3 rattles out, won't stay down. The Huskies getting some breaks there tonight. And DeBose with the board, going to drive in 1-on-4, leave it out for Osuji. A 3 from the wing, and he got it. Suge with his first long-distance dial-up tonight. The Huskies are back up by 11. Matches their largest lead of the game. Here is Hunt from the baseline. He gets a jumper to go, 23-14. Don't look back over into the stands. This can be an interesting place to play when it's full and rocking like this. There's a miss from the corner by Osuji. The rebound pulled down by Clark. The Islanders head back the other way.
Osuji with 9 points so far, only averaging 5.5 on the season. Great start for that young man.
Gray out top to Clark. Clark going to try and penetrate on Dalton, and we've got an offensive foul. Ty draws the charge on Clark. That'll be his first, and it's double bonus. No shots on an offensive foul. But the Huskies will get the basketball back. Jackson Stent checks out. Ben Yoloko back in.
It's fun to watch this Husky team because the total buy-in on defense, Lonnie. It's really keeps them in every contest.
Osuji with the basketball on the right side. He wants to go inside, but feeds it at the elbow to DuBose instead. Ian will drive into the paint. Against the double team, has a shot blocked. Down to 8 on the shot clock. Dalton is going to be called for an offensive foul. Ty doesn't believe it. That'll be his first. And that is team foul number 5 on HBU. So South brings it up for the Islanders. Met at the midcourt line by Braxton Bonds. Bonds trying to strip the basketball from behind. South into the paint. Leave it down low. Right side for Clark. He puts it up off the glass and in for 2. Nice move down low by Clark. Bonds to the baseline. Puts up a floater off the window. Won't go, and the rebound's going to be knocked out of bounds by Jake Babick, I believe, for the Islanders.
Yeah, good hustle by the Huskies that time, and Braxton Bonds especially.
5:22 to go till halftime. 23-16, Huskies by 7. Inbounds to DuBose, and DuBose for a 3. Got it to go from the top of the arc. Ian now has 7, and the Huskies are up by 10.
Great offensive movement by the Huskies that time. They found DuBose at the top, and he nailed that one.
South lobs it down low to Hunt. Turnaround, face-up jumper won't go, and Osuji underneath to grab the board. He's off on the run, 2-on-2, and going to have it knocked out of bounds. Swiped away. I think Gray got a hand on it, knocks it out. And Coach Cottrell wants a 30-second timeout. We'll hang on to it right here. Gives us a minute to let you know that coming up at halftime, we'll have the Huskies halftime report, a look at the first half stats, also a look at the scoreboard involving Southland Conference teams. There's some interesting finals already in this afternoon. And time permitting, we will update you on the women's game earlier this afternoon. What do you think, Neil? Was that a timeout to try and just reset, make sure you get a good offensive set here?
I think no question about it.
Bonds will go to the baseline. He'll lob it all the way into the backcourt to DuBose. He'll bring it back across the timeline. Picked up left side by Gray. Looks inside. Bounce pass to Oliver Lynch-Daniels, who's checked back in. We'll back it out, down to 10 on the shot clock. Screen from Dalton. Ollie goes right. Now he's going to pull up, pop from the 3, and won't go, and the rebound pulled down by Clark. Clark will get the outlet up ahead to Gray, lob it inside, and Hunt jams it down through on the alley-oop. And they're back to within 8, 26-18. Bonds to the middle, leave it out top. For Dalton, a 3 rattles off, won't go. The rebound tipped, controlled by Hunt. He's been active on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I think that's a better look by Dalton that time. Lynch-Daniels is having to work too hard to get those shots. Need to come through the offense.
South to the baseline. They swing it around to Gray. A 3 rattles out. Clark tried to grab the board on the run, but he tips it right to the Huskies, and DuBose will bring it up. Under 4 minutes to go till halftime now. Huskies with the lead. Ian. Bounce pass down low, blocks to Uloko, and he gets the friendly bounce.
Wow, he muscled that up against 2 defenders, the baseline side. Nice roll.
Babick drives in, kicks it out on the wing to Gray.
And that's something that young man has to build, is some confidence. He'll have a strong game, and then he'll struggle, so he needed that one.
Clark goes to the baseline, cut off by Lynch-Daniels, but they're going to say Ollie reached in and fouled, and that'll stop the clock with 3:17 to go. Huskies still maintaining that 10-point lead, 28-18. There's a timeout on the floor, and we'll take the break on the Husky Sports Network.
You can always count on Houston Federal Credit Union to be there for you, because once a member, always a member. Take advantage of all their products and services to help you in all your financial milestones, such as purchasing your first car, planning your dream wedding, buying a home, and planning for retirement. Stop by any of their convenient locations or visit their website, www.houstonfcu.org, and experience the credit union difference today. Dogs up.
I am strong. I won't give up.
I put my heart into the game.
I learned from my mistakes.
Focus.
Determination. Confidence. I trust my gut. No limits.
Preparation.
Dedication. Leadership. I want to make my team and family proud.
Be an inspiration for other girls who like sports.
Join the movement.
Under Armour.
Hi, this is Ron Cottrell, head coach of the HBU Huskies. Thanks for listening to Huskies Basketball on the DNA Husky Sports Network.
And the Huskies are out to a 10-point lead on the network tonight. 28-18 is our score. Hosting the Texas A&M-Corpus Christi Islanders. Huskies shooting 39% from the floor, 9 of 23. They've hit a couple of three-pointers now. Interesting that A&M-Corpus Christi has yet to hit a three this evening.
And one thing you talked about in the pregame is the rebounding, how crucial it is for the Islanders. And the Huskies are up 19-14 as far as rebounds are concerned.
And caught over in the corner was Trey Gray, and Willis Wilson sees something he didn't like, so he calls for a timeout here. And he is not happy with this team around him.
No. Standing around a lot on offense, and that's one thing they do is move the basketball very well around the perimeter, and they're holding the ball a little too long for his like.
They're a very deliberate offense. I wouldn't say they're slow, but they will use up a lot of the shot clock, and the Huskies are opposite of that. They'll try to push it hard. You wonder if the pace of play may be causing them to, be a step behind. South gets it inbounds to Brown. Brown back to South, and we've got a whistle away from the basketball. I think this may be a clock issue.
Yeah, I think you're right. They're having a discussion. Make sure that clock moved. Yeah, they ran another second off, so.
Well, you expect that when the home team has the basketball. Not when the visitors do.
Correct.
Kyle Brown with the dribble. Out to Clark. Shot clock winding down, and they throw it away, looking for South on the baseline.
Yeah, communication issues for the Islanders, and Huskies need to take advantage on this possession.
Bonds across the midcourt stripe. Leave it for DeBose out top. He'll take it. Gets it to Ollie Lynch-Daniels, left side angle, out beyond the arc. Bounce pass down low to Yoloko. Turnaround jumper, and he gets it to go. Ben with the 12-footer has 4 now.
Yeah, nice job of facing up the pass from Daniels and nailed that.
South on the left wing, going to dribble back out to the angle, get it to Clark out top, to Gray right side. Now he lobs it down inside for Clark. Clark had good position, and he used the rim to his advantage and lays it off the glass for 2. Perfect pass. And he finished the job. DuBose down low inside to Dalton, hands it off to Ollie Lynch-Daniels. Nice give from Dalton in the basket to Lynch-Daniels, his first points of the ball game.
Nice pass from Daniels. Dalton cut to the rim, easy lay-in.
32-20, 1:53 to go in the first half. Brown, left to right, toward the middle of the floor. Leave it for Tony Lewis, who's checked back in. Lewis to Gray, and he threw it away. Lewis wasn't looking back, or at least had turned the wrong direction. Bonds goes into the paint, and then he was going to try to feed Dalton, and Dalton had cut to the baseline. It goes out of bounds. (32-20). The Huskies have their largest lead of the ball game to this point as Brown brings it back up. It's like the Huskies are back in that zone. Brown hands it off to Gray. Shot clock winding down again. Gray drives into the baseline, pass to Brown, puts up a jumper, and he got the friendly roll. Rattled around. Went down through.
Yeah, they worked that shot clock down. Good job by the Husky defense, and couldn't do much there.
10-point game again. Under a minute to go. 50 seconds left in the first half. Dalton left side, cut off as he tried to go to the baseline. Gets it back out top to Lynch. Stanos drives in for DuBose underneath to Yoloko. Has it blocked from behind, and it's out of bounds off of the Islanders.
A nice interior passing that time by the Huskies. Really doing a great job of finding the open man.
Coach Cottrell says, let's talk this over.
Yes.
He wants to get a good look with 7 seconds to go on the shot clock.
Yeah, I think it's a very good timeout right before the half. You've got a 10-point lead here, 40 seconds on the clock. You want to get the best look you can and also prepare them for the other end of things on the defensive side. Make sure they're prepared there as well. So just looks a little different, Lonnie, when you have a 10-point lead at half as opposed to anything under that. It's a mental thing sometimes for players.
Yeah, and if you're a little superstitious, you're thinking, oh no, what's going to happen next? But it looks like the Huskies will carry some kind of a lead into the locker room at halftime, barring some sort of miracle-type run by the Islanders.
Just a former coach.
Yeah, exactly.
You can hear it.
Bonds gets it out top to DuBose on the inbounds pass. Down to 3 on the shot clock. DuBose gets it off and hits the iron, but the rebound is controlled by Clark for the Islanders. Well, less than a second differential, shot clock to game clock. But both are running down to 20 seconds.
And not a lot of fouls being called in this one, so.
Tony's going to dribble. Clock winded down. 5 on the game clock. In low to Lewis. He's going to turn around. Blocked by Yoloko. The ball is loose on the floor. They won't get a look. And that takes us to halftime. Pretty good defense to close out the half for the Huskies.
Great job.
Well, that takes us through the first 20 minutes. And so far, the Huskies riding the wave of momentum from their win on Wednesday night. Carry a 10-point lead into the locker room. And we will take a timeout. When we come back, Neil and I will have the Huskies halftime report for you on the Husky Sports Network and HBU TV.
At Firehouse Subs, subs are hot, hearty, and extraordinary. Every sub helps provide life-saving equipment for first responders. So more people eating at Firehouse Subs means more life-saving equipment donated to first responders. If you're going to have a sub, have one that makes a difference.
Try the new Spicy Cajun Chicken Sub with grilled chicken breast, just $5.55 for a medium.
Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs, save more lives.
The body is incredibly powerful. It's so nimble and fluid, but sometimes we push it too far. That's when you need the strength of Memorial Hermann and our body of affiliated orthopedic specialists. With our renowned Ironman Sports Medicine Institute, they not only get your body back to where it was, they get it to go further. It's what makes us more than just hospitals. We are a body of experts. Memorial Hermann, advancing health.
Tammy and I have been going steady since high school.
Tammy and Tommy, two peas in a pod, as they say.
We have all the same friends. We like all the same things. I mean, we practically even have the same name.
But there's one thing we could just never agree on.
Soda.
I have been begging him all these years to just try Pepsi, and I knew he would change his tune.
Yeah.
So, finally, I had him take the Pepsi Taste Challenge. And go on, tell him what you told me, Tommy.
I'm a Pepsi man.
Right? Gosh, isn't Pepsi so good?
I tell you what, I don't know why I didn't try it sooner.
Me neither.
It's so crisp and refreshing and bubbly.
Like me.
Like you.
I'm always right.
She's always right.
All across the South, people are choosing the great taste of Pepsi. Take the Pepsi Taste Challenge and let your taste decide.
It would be great if human beings were great at being human. and of all of mankind were made up of kind women and kind men. It would be wonderful if common knowledge was knowledge commonly known, and if the light from being enlightened into every heart was shown. It would be glorious if neighbors were neighborly, and indifference a forgotten word. It would be awesome if we shared everything, and being greedy was absurd. It would be spectacular if the golden rule was golden to every man, and the good things that we ever did was everything that we can.
Treating others like we'd like to be treated has always been our guiding principle.
Marriott Houston West Chase, a proud partner of HBU Athletics.
How fast you were going, son?
Call me Ed.
Do you know how fast you were going, Ed?
You mean exactly?
Yes, exactly.
No, not exactly. How fast?
Fast.
Fast, sir?
You were going very fast.
Fast is my job, officer.
Fast is your job?
Yes, sir.
What kind of job?
I deliver, sir.
What do you deliver?
The world's greatest gourmet sandwiches.
I thought Jimmy John's had the world's greatest gourmet sandwiches.
Jimmy John's does have the world's greatest gourmet sandwiches.
So you deliver for Jimmy John's?
I deliver for Jimmy John's.
So do you always deliver fast?
I always deliver fast.
How fast?
I deliver subs so fast you freak.
It's not smart to freak a cop, son.
You didn't order Jimmy John's sub, sir.
So if I did order a Jimmy John's sub, when would I get it?
Now.
What if I don't want it now?
Then call later.
Or I could pick it up myself.
Or you can pick it up yourself.
Because I'm pretty fast, too.
I'm sure you are, sir.
Very fast.
I believe you, sir.
Faster than you.
No way, sir.
Way faster.
In your dreams.
You dissing me, son?
No, sir, I'm polite.
Fast and polite?
Very polite and very, very fast.
Is that a challenge, son?
No, sir, it's a fact.
Let's burn rubber, kid.
It wouldn't be fair.
Why not?
You've got a fully blown V8 Camaro with slicks and headers.
So?
I've got a 10-speed bike.
I'll let you off with a warning.
Jimmy John's Subs, an official sponsor of HBU Athletics.
IBEW wants to build Houston. Office buildings, healthcare centers, information data centers, airports, and heck, we would like to build everything. Our commitment is all our electricians are Americans with a birth certificate, social security card, high school diploma, and drug tested. Plus, we're trained at an accredited 5-year electrical school. We're career American people. My question, does this even matter? Visit whobuildshouston.com. The time is now to hire IBEW electricians.
At Shipley Donuts, we make our donuts from scratch every single day. Nothing trucked in, frozen. And we are Texas born and raised since 1936. Not like those other guys. Shipley Donuts.
At Holiday Inn Express, we can't guarantee that you'll be able to contain yourself at our breakfast bar.
Morning, egg white omelet. Sup, lady bacon.
Fruit.
There it is.
But we can guarantee that you'll get the best price when you book with us.
Holiday Inn Express. Be the readiest.
The real story is I'm in here every morning and have sampled just about every kolache that they make here.
Bacon, egg, and cheese on wheat for me, and then the rest is for the office. So yes, I'll pick up every Friday. I'll stop by here and pick up some for my group.
Well, I used to think it was just fruit-filled stuff, and then I came here, and there's eggs and bacon and cheese and all kinds of good stuff in there. It's like a whole breakfast and a bun. It's great.
It's always a good thing if you can eat healthy and not know it.
When you drive down the street looking for something to eat, you're going to pass 5 places to buy a sandwich, 6 places to buy a burger. There's only one place you can get a kolache, and that's Kolache Factory. It's delicious. You're going to have people that try to copy you, but they're not going to do it as well. We know what we're doing. We've been doing it for 25 years. We do it the best, and our success proves that.
Houston's own Kolache Factory, the freshest, highest quality, best tasting kolaches in town. Over 50 Houston area locations and a proud partner of HBU Athletics.
This is Ron Cottrell. You're listening to Huskies basketball on the DNA Husky Sports Network.
And it's halftime of our game between your HBU Huskies and the Texas A&M-Corpus Christi Islanders. Lonnie King and Neil Raphael along with you. Here at halftime, the Huskies with a 10-point lead, 32-22. Neil, some of the first half stats stood out to you, particularly the fact that the Huskies did not send Corpus Christi to the free throw line in the first half.
Oh, that's unbelievable to me. But right now, Corpus Christi is settling for a lot of jumpers. They have taken the ball in, but some of them have been rejected. They've turned the ball over. They've been aggressive, but, haven't gotten to the line. And that's a tribute to that HBU Husky defense, doing a great job of moving their feet and playing hard defense and not fouling. So, hopefully they can carry that on to the second half.
The other thing that stands out to me is they took 8 3-point shots in the first half, did not hit a single one. Now, they're not a tremendous three-point shooting team, but you expect to see 1 or 2 from guys like Kareem South and Tony out on the perimeter. But the Huskies have done a pretty good job of shutting them down.
They have 11-0 start for the Huskies tonight, and the Islanders crawled back, but then the Huskies tightened the defensive reins again and did a nice job in those last 4 or 5 minutes of really allowing very few touches by the Islanders and very few baskets, and they're winning the rebounding battle 20-16. That's something you talked about that was very important for the success of the Islanders. But right now, and even with Ed Hart on the bench, Ed played only 3 minutes in this contest, probably due to the pace of the game and some matchups and some other things. But Yoloko has come in and gotten some rebounds. Stent's done a good job, and they've really stepped it up all over.
The Huskies had as much as a 12-point lead with 2:43 to go in the first half. Bucket late in the half, though, by the Islanders cut it back down to 10, and that's where we are now. You're talking about the rebounding, how important that is. It's turned into just 6 second-chance points for HBU, though, and that's because the offensive rebounding is just an 8-5 advantage, so not as much maybe of an edge there that you would like to see.
But you also have the guards. You've got Osuji as well as Dalton coming in and getting 4 rebounds apiece here in the first half, and that's big when you have your guards stepping up and making those big rebounds.
One number that perhaps both coaches are talking about in the locker room at halftime is the turnover column. A&M-Corpus Christi had 14 turnovers in the first half. The Huskies had 12 of their own. You know, I was thinking, though, Neil, and we hadn't talked about this on air yet, but sometimes when your pace of play is quicker, you're going to have more turnovers just because the ball is going up and down the floor a lot faster.
Yeah, just kind of par for the course when you're pushing the ball, and I'm sure Coach Cottrell is okay with that. I mean, maybe not the exact number, but the fact that they're pushing the pace here and looking up at the scoreboard and things are going very well, and they're doing the job on the defensive end.
Huskies have been led here in the first half in scoring by Stephen Osuji, who has 9 points, followed by Ian DeBose, who's got 7, then 4 apiece from Ty Dalton and Ben Yoloko. They've got 1 from Ed Hart. As Neil mentioned, he just played 3 minutes, and he was 1 of 2 at the free throw line. We gave you Dalton. Braxton Bonds contributed 2 from Ollie Lynch Daniels, 1 from Jalen Gates, and 2 from Jackson Stent. Philip McKenzie was out on the floor for 5 minutes of the first half, but did not score. The leading scorer for the Islanders, they've got 3 guys with 4 points: Kareem South, Hunt, and Jalen Clark. And nobody with more than 4 points in the first half. So the Huskies have done a pretty good job of defensively clamping down on Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Well, we'll take another timeout. When we come back, we'll take a look around the Southland Conference at the scoreboard and then get you ready for the second half. Coming up straight ahead on the Husky Sports Network.
4 Points by Sheraton. Always a great stay. Everything you need. Plus extras you love. All for a great rate. Over 150 hotels around the world. Travel the way you like. Check us out at 4points.com.
At Raising Cane's, we believe in one love, quality chicken finger meals. But creating one love is no simple task. Everything has to be served hot and fresh, not just hot. We use only 100% premium chicken tenderloins, guaranteeing a 0% chance of leftovers. We insist on the best ingredients for our fries, like potatoes. And, well, we can keep talking quality, or you can just eat it. Raising Cane's, one love.
Coming to you in Living Cola. Pepsi Cola from the wonderful folks who put the R in cola.
I didn't believe I could do it. The weight seemed too heavy. My competitors were too fast. I lacked motivation, and then I found the Hulk t-shirt. I transformed myself and believed that I could conquer the competition. Now everybody takes me serious because I demand them to. If I can do it, you can do it. Under Armour Alter Ego. Transform yourself.
Firehouse Subs was founded by 2 firefighters over 20 years ago. And once a firefighter, always a firefighter. So they've seen to it that a portion of your purchase at all U.S. Firehouse Subs locations now goes toward providing life-saving equipment for first responders. And one more thing, they make awesome subs.
Now get any of our 10 specialty subs in a new small size, each under 500 calories. Big flavor, small subs, starting at $3.99. Firehouse Subs, founded by firemen.
You're listening to the Husky Sports Network, powered by DNA Studios.
Halftime of our game between your HBU Huskies and the A&M-Corpus Christi Islanders, 32-22 HBU. Just about set for the second half. Quick look at the Southland Conference scoreboard today. The Mar Cardinals went to Lake Charles and knocked off the McNeese State Cowboys, 84-75 there. Christian Barrett had a double-double, 17 points, 10 boards. New Orleans hosting Incarnate Word, and the Privateers come away with an 89-72 victory. Northwestern State, a little bit of a surprise here, comes up with an 80-75 win over Central Arkansas in Conway. Ishmael Lane had 22 points and 13 boards in that game as Northwestern State goes to 3-6. Huskies are going to hope to keep pace with them with a win tonight. And then the other game going on, or the other game that's gone final, Southeastern Louisiana hosting Nichols, and they come away with a 91-70 win on their home floor. One other game still in progress in the first half with about 4 minutes to go. Sam Houston State with a 43-25 lead over SFA.
Let me ask you about Central Arkansas. I've never been to a football game in there with a purple field. They have a purple gym as well, Lonnie?
They've got some purple in the gym, but it's not as obvious as the football field is, that's for sure. It's more of an accent color. I think that, if I remember correctly, the seat backs are purple as well in there.
So it's Central Arkansas and Boise, right? Boise State, they both have the blue field and purple. Yeah. Maybe the only two like that in the country?
Well, I think Eastern Washington has a red field.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's the paint on the ice. Kareem South starts the second half with a 3 from the wing, left side, and he gets it to go. And there's their first 3-point bucket of the night.
Yeah, he had 4 in the first half, trying to get him going. Are the Islanders?
Ed back out there. Hart gives the ball to Braxton Bonds, and Bonds has his pass tipped and stolen away. Kyle Brown gets the start here in the second half. He'll bring it back into the front court. Schmidt comes out and loses the basketball, but right to Talton. He puts up a jumper and rattles around and goes down through. And the first 5 of the second half belong to A&M-Corpus Christi. And they've cut the lead down to 5 for HBU. DeBose to Hart, left side to Bonds. Pop it back out top to Osuji. He's going to drive in and has the ball stolen away, but out of bounds off of Brown.
Yeah, great job by Osuji of attacking the rim that time, but Kyle Brown did a really nice job defensively that time. Osuji had the layup.
Huskies on the inbound, send it out top to DeBose. Picks up his dribble, finds Dalton, though, on the right angle. Ty drives in and has a pass knocked away. Brown got it to Schmidt, and Schmidt goes back to Brown. Another turnover here to start the second half for HBU. Tony feed it down low to Schmidt, and he has his pocket picked. It's going to be out of bounds off of, they say, Stephen Osuji.
Yeah.
He's trying to make the argument that he knocked it down off of Schmidt's foot.
I think you're right, Lonnie. He did a good job of slapping the ball down. Looked like it rolled off his left foot there. So
Well, the Huskies won't get any sympathy, and so they'll have to fall back on defense still. Brown out top, picked up by Bonds. Down to Talton. Talton's got to put up a shot right at the buzzer. Comes up short, and the rebound is going to be controlled by the Huskies.
Yeah, good job defensively working the shot clock down.
Dalton's going to skip by his defender and take it to the rack with the right hand from the left side. There's the first points of the second half for the Huskies.
Yeah, first step by Dalton.
34-27, 17:50 to go. Here's a feed down low, blocked from behind. Schmidt had his shot blocked by DuBose, and DuBose is bumped by Talton in the backcourt.
Well, I'm impressed by DuBose every time I see him. But the hard part about that, it's not blocking the shot necessarily. It's retaining control of the basketball, which is so hard, Lonnie. And he did textbook job by Ian DuBose.
Third foul on Talton, and the Huskies bring it up. Bonds goes up high off the glass, can't get it to go, but he gets his miss and puts it back up and in. Second chance opportunity, and now Bonds is going to foul Brown running back up the floor.
I think that was a pretty good foul. Brown had a step on Bonds, and he was getting ready to get in the lane and create some havoc. So if you're going to have to foul early like that.
And it's just the first on Braxton, so he's not in foul trouble at this point. They inbound it from the side, and Tony has it out top. Right side to Brown, back to Tony, and he tried to pass it to South, tipped away by Osuji. The Huskies showing some quick hands on defense.
Yeah,
tonight.
they really are. They're doing a good job of kind of spreading that 2-3 out and getting their arms extended.
Tony drives in, leaves it for Schmidt in the paint. He's got a little 14-footer just inside the free throw line, and he drops it down through. They're back to within 7.
Yeah, they're sending him in the middle. They're sending Schmidt in the middle of the 2-3 zone and forcing the Huskies to play the middle of the paint.
Dalton feeds it to Hart, back to the basket. He'll hand it off to Bonds. Bonds to the left baseline, tried to go inside to Hart and had it knocked out of bounds by Brown. Huskies basketball down to our left. 11 seconds to go on the shot clock. 16:44 on the game clock. Ian, he's going to feed it into the paint to Hart. Hart's going to spin around on Schmidt. He'll be fouled going to the hole, and Ed will get free throws out of this.
Another foul on Schmidt, and he's been playing well. He had a fairly good season so far, and he played well against HBU last year at Corpus. Had 12 points, so he's tall, he's lanky, but hey, I think it's a good thing for the Huskies that he's going out with that foul, Lonnie, because he's really doing some positive things for the Islanders right now.
Tony Lewis checks back in. Ed got the first free throw, and the second one rattles around and goes down through as well. And so the Huskies are back out to a 9-point advantage with 16:35 to go.
Yeah, I hope Ed's able to play more minutes here in the second half. Like to see him be a factor.
This matchup against Lewis probably suits him a little better.
Sure.
There's a miss on the runner by the Islanders, and the rebound in the corner by DuBose. They'll leave it for Dalton, who gets it across to Osuji, left side. Suge is going to drive in, and he's cut off, and it goes out of bounds off of Osuji.
Come on, Suge. Ed's down there posting up against Lewis, man. He's getting big and wide. Got to give him the ball. I mean, they had that isolation down that block that time.
Huskies back up the floor, and there's a whistle away from the basketball, and Osuji draws a foul. Now a little chatter between the two teams. Tony and Osuji
sharing some pleasantries. Ask them how their holiday was.
Yep. Stops the clock with exactly 16 minutes to go in regulation time. The Huskies with the 9-point lead. 38-29. We'll take a timeout on the Husky Sports Network and HBU TV.
At Memorial Hermann, we're many parts working in harmony, performing more brain and spinal surgeries than anyone in Houston, conducting groundbreaking research at our Misher Neuroscience Institute, establishing the region's largest network of certified stroke centers, Some might say this makes for an accomplished performance, but to us, it's all in a day's work. Memorial Hermann. Breakthroughs every day.
Going to school at Houston Baptist University was an excellent choice. As the official credit union of HBU, Houston Federal Credit Union is focused on helping you to continue to make great choices. HFCU will meet all your financial needs by providing the personal attention and variety of services you deserve. Stop by any of our convenient locations or visit our website, www.houstonfcu.org, and experience the credit union difference today. Dogs up.
Hi, this is Ron Cottrell, head coach of the HBU Huskies. Thanks for listening to Huskies Basketball on the DNA Husky Sports Network.
Back here at Sharp Gym. Timeout on the floor. 38-29. The Huskies with a 9-point lead. The Huskies are shooting 67% from the floor. 2 of 3, though. So that could be a little misleading. They've been doubled up on shot attempts in this half by the Islanders. They've gotten 6 looks and talked about some possessions where the Huskies turned it over on consecutive times up the floor. Hopefully that was just a temporary glitch.
Well, and the Islanders yet to shoot a free throw here, Lonnie, in this one. And, man, I don't want to jinx the Huskies, but 10 of 13 from the line, blistering.
Islanders with the basketball. Brown out top, goes left side to Tony. Picked up by Osuji. Back out top to Kareem South. Talton swings it around to Brown. 4 on the shot clock. Brown's going to fire up a 3. Misses everything. And Lewis got it to go. He was in the right place and got the shot off before the clock expired and gets the bucket.
And that offside rebounding that time. Ed's got to do a better job of putting a body on that with the clock winding down.
Ed gets a basketball down low. Sends it back out to Osuji. And now we've got a whistle on the entry pass again, and it's going to be Lewis picking up his 3rd foul.
See, I think that isolation down there could be the bread and butter for the Huskies. They did a great job of isolating Ed on that block again and caused a foul on Tony Lewis.
Lewis becomes the 3rd Islander with 3 fouls in this ball game. Bonds out top to DeBose. He's going to fire up a 3, top of the arc, off the mark, and it bounces down. Comes off to Kareem South. South will leave it for Talton. He'll go to Brown. Brown right side to Tony. Tries to drive in. Had it tipped away, but saved by Lewis. Swinging around the arc again. Kick it out in the corner to Talton. He's got a 3, and they're back to within 4. With 14:42 to go, it's 38-34.
That's a tough shot for Talton. Dalton did a good job on him.
Dalton with the basketball now. We're going to get a whistle and a foul. Going to be on Kyle Brown. Brown, the former Klein Bearcat. Didn't think he drew the foul there. The Huskies will get it and inbound it. 14th foul on the Islanders here to start the second half. Bonds out top, going to drive in, loses his footing, and he was tripped up. And that'll cause you to lose your footing.
Yeah, well, and again, the Huskies being very aggressive on the offensive end of things and enforcing turnovers.
5th foul, that one was charged to Emmanuel Toney, his 2nd personal. Huskies up by 4. Have the basketball. DeBose gets it to Osuji. Cross court. He's going to float it up and got it to go.
Nice job of rotating the basketball at time for the Huskies.
Lewis out top. Gives it to Brown. Left side. South back down in the blocks to Lewis. He's going to try to turn around on Ed Hart. He doesn't get it to go, but the follow by Kareem South. Cuts it back to 4. 40-36. Here's a feed down low. Ed Hart bucket, and he's fouled. Somehow they lost Ed.
Don't know how DeBose saw him. Great look. Easy lay-in. When Ed gets the ball down that low, he's tough to stop, Lonnie, and got one and the foul. So Ed, keep this free throw. Keep it going. 10 of 13.
Back up to a 6-point lead. Ed on his own is 3 of 4 at the line tonight. Now 3 of 5. And it stays a 6-point advantage for the Huskies. Kareem South up the floor. Gets it to Tony. Swinging around, left angle to Brown. Brown cross court right to South. Into the right corner to Tony. Drives baseline. Kicks it out on the wing to South. A 3. And he got it to go. And they're now as close as 3 points. 42-39. The South, Hart gets it down low. And he can't get the spin around hook to go, and it's pulled away by the Islanders. South thought about a 3, had it swiped away from behind by Osuji. It goes out of bounds. It will stay in possession of the Islanders.
Good job by Osuji of knocking it away, because South is starting to find his rhythm. He's getting some easy looks that he did not get in the first half, Lonnie.
He's up to 11 points now, to emphasize your point there. Leading scorer for the Islanders. Trey Gray gets it in on the baseline to Tony. Out top to South. They give it back to Gray. Gray goes baseline to Clark, and he's going to be cut off by Philip McKenzie, who checked back in. They're going to say Ben Uloko, who also came in during the stoppage, drew the foul. So for Ben, that is his first.
Yeah, Uloko slid his feet, did a good job. His hands were down. They're going to call it. They're going to call that every time.
12:51 to go. Almost a steal on the baseline by the Huskies, but knocked out of bounds by Osuji. Osuji's been very active defensively tonight. Way out top they go to Clark. Swinging around the arc, play on the perimeter. South has it out top, feeds it into the paint to Lewis, and Lewis with the turnaround jumper from the free throw line gets it to go, and it's a 1-point game. Lewis with 6, and it's 42-41.
Yeah, he's hit a couple from the high post tonight.
Here's DuBose, tries to put up a runner, right side, won't go, gets his own rebound though. The Huskies can't save it. It's going to be out of bounds off of HBU and goes back over to the Islanders. And they've got an opportunity to take the lead on this possession. Tony into the forecourt, picked up by Osuji. Uloko comes to help out. Tony tries to drive it in and is swatted away on the baseline, out of bounds off the Huskies. 12:05 to go, 42-41. The Islanders have not led in this ball game, but are just 1 point down now. Gray into the corner to Tony, to Lewis. Turnaround jumper, short, off the iron, and the rebound controlled by Osuji for the Huskies. He's off on the run. Push it up to Uloko. Jam it down through with 2 hands.
Just what the doctor ordered that time, a 3-on-1 break. Nice finish at the rim by Uloko.
Inside they go, down in the blocks to Lewis. He gets it back out top to Gray. Gray picked up by Ollie Lynch-Daniels. He's going to penetrate. And nice little hang in the air to get it off the window and down through. And now Suji's going to be fouled. And I think Suj sold that one a little bit. Foul's going to be on Tony, and it stops the clock with 11:29 to go. 44-43. Huskies by a point here. Take the break on the Husky Sports Network.
Points by Sheraton. Always a great stay. Everything you need. Plus extras you love. All for a great rate. Over 150 hotels around the world. Travel the way you like. Check us out at 4points.com.
Every visit to Raising Cane's begins with a moment of truth. What to have? 6 delicious, fresh, never, ever frozen premium chicken fingers? 4 chicken fingers? Or perhaps 3 delectable chicken fingers? It's a tough one. We haven't even gotten to the whole coleslaw crinkle fried conundrum of deliciousness. Yeah, take your time, sister. We understand. Raising Cane's, one love.
You're listening to the Husky Sports Network, powered by DNA Studios.
Huskies had a 10-point lead at halftime, 32-22, but they've been outscored 21-12 here to start the second half. A couple of notable numbers. The Islanders are 9 of 15 from the floor to start the second half. That's 60%. They've also hit 3 of 4 three-pointers to draw close to the Huskies. After not making a three-point field goal in the first half, Osuji with a 1-and-1 on the 7th team foul just before the timeout. Gets the first free throw to go, and he'll have one more.
8 points in the second half for Kareem South.
Suge misses the second free throw. The rebound came long, but Ollie Lance-Daniels couldn't come up with it, and the Islanders clear it. 45-43, Huskies by 2. Talton drives in, and we've got a bump in the paint. It's McKenzie going to draw the foul for the Huskies. That'll be the 4th foul on HBU here in the second half. Suge is going to get a breather. Braxton Bonds will check back in. Tony to the baseline, will get it into Gray. Gray out top to South. Huskies with that zone look again. They feed it into the middle to Talton. Swings it into the corner to South, and he can't get the shot to go. Bounce pass up ahead on the outlet by the Huskies. Get it up to McKenzie. He loses it, but in the corner, saved by Bonds. Feeds it down low to Uloko. Tomahawk it through with the left hand. That was a hustle play all the way.
Wow.
By about 3 or 4 different guys.
Big game for Uloko tonight.
Ben's got 8 off the bench tonight. Huskies back up by 4. Almost a steal. It is stolen by Ben. Quick hands again on Hunt. He gets it up to DeBose. Leave it for Ollie Lance-Daniels. Can't get it to go, but he's bumped. And I think that is going to be a foul on Talton. It is. That'll be his 3rd. Check it. That's number 4 on Talton. He's the first one to 4 tonight. Schmidt with 3, Tony with 3, and Lewis has 3 as well. Free throws for Oliver Lance-Daniel, and he's too strong on the first one. Well, if you're going to get to the line, you got to make them.
Yes, you do.
I know they know that.
Did a pretty good job in the first half, 10 of 13. So
second one comes up way short, grazed the front iron, but it's cleared by Tony for the Islanders. Set up right side. They get it down low to Schmidt. Schmidt with a hook in the paint. He's going to be fouled by Ben Uloko. Ben didn't think so.
Well, I'm not sure I thought so either. It looked like Schmidt kind of hooked him with his arm and got away with one there, hand in the cookie jar. So Schmidt has 3 fouls, just came back in the contest. We don't want him to get going.
It's funny you mention that because, early in the season, officials were concentrating and focusing on that hook and hold move and calling a lot of fouls on that. We haven't seen that too much lately, though.
Right.
Schmidt misses the first free throw. Got one more to come. Huskies still up by 4. Second free throw is good. And it's back to a 3-point game, 47-44. Osuji back out on the floor. Bonds goes back to the bench. DuBose brings it across the timeline, sets up right side, double team, gets it to Uloko, and Ben can't finish it off, but he's fouled to go into the rack, and they're going to call Hunt for the personal there.
Yeah, Uloko ended up on his backside, but he was pushed in the attempt, the drive to the basket. And the young man's having a really good game tonight on both ends of the floor. much needed, especially with, Ed having limited minutes in that first half. Yoloko's say a little quicker than Ed, and different style out there today, faster pace. So it's nice to see him step up.
I think he hit the nail on the head there. He's better suited to push the ball up and down the floor.
And he's playing really well under control tonight. So kudos to Yoloko so far.
Gets the first free throw here, one more to come. And the second one rolls off, won't go. It's a 4-point game, 48-44. We hit the 10-minute mark to go in this ball game. Gray drives in, pulls up, jumper from 14, and he gets it to go from the right wing.
Yeah, they've got to make those free throws. Nice to be 10 of 13 in the first half, but you got to make them when it counts.
Osuji, they're going to get an offensive foul away from the basketball. Such had the dribble, and they're going to say Ollie Lynch-Daniels knocked Gray to the floor.
Yeah, I think a little acting job there as well. I think we're even now, Lonnie.
Yeah. Yeah, could be.
Academy Awards are coming up before we know it, but
48-46 as Brown brings it up. Picked up by Osuji. Right angle goes to South. Screen from Schmidt, and he rolls to the basket. South going to feed it into the block. Schmidt turn around off the iron, won't go. The rebound, and Yoloko.
There's nothing there. It just got tangled up. And I think if so, that's going to be the fourth foul. That's going to be huge if that's the fourth foul on Schmidt. And I think that's what it looked like to me.
It is on Schmidt. And so we're going to go.
There's no question. Yoloko did a great job defensively that time. And a little frustration on Schmidt's part.
I think you're right. Ben was just trying to hang on to the basketball. Didn't want.
Yeah, they may want to take a look at this, but there's nothing there.
It looks like they are. Well, no,
they're going to call a. I think that's the right call.
Free throws for Ben.
Oh, okay. They're filling in all the spaces now. I thought they were going to shoot a tech or
either a technical or a flagrant foul. Give them the ball after.
Yes. Flagrant one.
Ben with the first free throw. In the second half, the Huskies are just 5 of 10 at the free throw line now. Yoloko's second one spins off. Lead is 3, but
hopefully Gates can provide some offense here off the bench.
And he sticks a hand in there. They're going to get him for a foul, though, reaching in.
Wow.
Thought Jalen got the basketball, and Jalen thinks so, too. Schmidt checks out with those 4 fouls.
Well, will this be the first free throw of the contest for the Islanders? Am I mistaken?
They're 1 of 2.
Okay. I got you.
Schmidt got to the line a little bit earlier in the second half. Gray's first free throw rattles out. And the Huskies will get the rebound. Good effort by Stent. He saves it to Yoloko. And Ben will get it to Braxton Bonds, and they'll bring it up. 9 minutes left. The Huskies by 3. Trying to get that lead extended as much as it was in the first half.
This group really needs to keep things going while DeBose and it's on the bench.
Osuji to Yoloko.
Nice.
And that was created by Osuji's penetration, and he got it to Ben, and Ben's got 10. Check at 12. Through South, he got loose underneath, but can't finish it off 2 times, and Hunt comes back and finally does.
Yeah, you can't give them 3 looks at the basket.
Well, especially when the first 2 are gimmies that they missed.
Right.
Here's Gates. He's going to penetrate. He's going to be fouled. No, they're going to call an offensive foul on Jalen. Bodies hit the deck hard. Jay Gates and a couple of Islanders down on the deck. Hunt is down, and
they're going to say he was in the restricted zone. happened so fast, it was tough to tell.
Jalen's wondering why it wasn't a blocking foul.
Right. I mean, people think just because you're in the restricted zone, you're good. No, you don't have to be good there. I mean, you can still be moving in other things.
Right. Gates going in, trying to help on defense. Uloko almost blocked that shot. The rebound is loose on the floor, and Osuji comes out of the pack with it. On the run, 3-on-3. And he tries to dish it out. He's going to be fouled, and the Huskies get bailed out there because nobody was home on the pass.
Was that Braxton that passed that away?
Osuji. Yeah. Stops the clock with 7:57 to go. Brings us to another media timeout on the floor. Huskies still maintaining that 3-point lead. 51-48. Come back. We've got more on the Husky Sports Network.
What's on your mind, kid? Make it fast.
I'd like to work here at Jimmy John's, world's greatest gourmet sandwich shop, sir.
Why do you want to work at Jimmy John's, kid?
I'm perfect for Jimmy John's.
Doing what?
Delivery.
Delivery?
Delivery.
We deliver pretty fast here at Jimmy John's.
That's what I heard.
What'd you hear?
You deliver pretty fast here at Jimmy John's.
Then you heard right.
I'm a fast study, sir.
You know the Jim John's slogan?
The Jimmy John's slogan?
Jim John's slogan is sub so fast you'll freak.
Sub so fast you'll freak is a swell slogan, sir.
When people call for a Jimmy John's sandwich, they want it fast.
Then I'm your man, sir.
How so?
Because I'm fast.
Fast at what?
Fast at everything.
Can you deliver fast?
I can deliver fast.
How fast?
I can run in 4:40 and 2:20.
Minutes?
No, seconds.
That's fast. You deliver before?
I delivered newspapers before.
Were you fast?
Very fast.
How fast?
People got tomorrow's paper today.
That's fast.
So do I have the job?
Not so fast. How do I know you're not just some fast talker?
I can get your references.
When?
Now.
These are good references.
Thank you.
But at Jimmy John's, you gotta be more than fast.
More than fast.
You gotta be polite.
Fast and polite.
Fast and polite.
I can do fast and polite.
Okay, give me some time to think it over.
Okay.
Okay, I've thought it over. When can you start?
Now.
Now's good. What's your name, kid?
Stefan Apollodopoulos.
Too long. How about Ed?
That's fine.
Welcome aboard, Ed.
Jimmy John's Subs, an official sponsor of HBU Athletics.
Hi, this is Ron Cottrell, head coach of the HBU Huskies. Thanks for listening to Huskies Basketball on the DNA Husky Sports Network.
Tenth foul of the second half on the Islanders just before the timeout. It'll send Stephen Osuji to the free throw line. Huskies will be in the double bonus the rest of the way. 51-48. And Suge with a chance to extend that. Gets the first one to go. Suge tonight 6 of 7 at the stripe. He's also 3 of 5 from the floor. He's the leading scorer for the Huskies with 13, and the second one rattles out. Well, they're 1 of 2, I think, every trip to the line here in the second half. Hunt with the basketball. Hart, who's checked back in, picks him up. Dalton picks up Tony. Shot won't go on the move, and we're going to get a foul underneath. I think they're going to call it on Ty Dalton. It'll send Irshad Hunt to the free throw line. One and one is 9 fouls now on the Huskies, so any foul from here on out will be a double bonus for both teams. And it may come down to free throws. Hate to say that. 52-49, not a high scoring game tonight. No. Although the pace of play has been pretty good. Second free throw is good. It's a 2-point game again, 52-50. Rolling down to 7.5 minutes to go. Bonds out top, angles to the right, leave it for Osuji, who weaves it back to the middle of the floor. Suge sets up left angle. Out top, screen from Hart, takes it into the middle, gonna run by a defender. Got past Hunt, and he lays it up and in, and Suge has 15 points now. And the Huskies are back up by 4. Hunt holds it up out high. The offensive end gives it off to Tony. Tony rolls by Hart into the corner. Goes to Gray, and Gray got a friendly bounce.
Oh, yes.
And it goes in. He gets a 3. It's a 1-point game. Huskies with the lead, 54-53, but it's tedious, and here's a three by Osuji. Shot won't go. Dalton, though, fights for the board, goes up, off the window, and through. Ty Dalton with 8 now.
We'll see how long DeBose stays on the bench. I got a feeling he's going to be coming back fairly soon.
Brown into the corner, goes to South. South, right side, drives the baseline, and he tried to feed it to Hunt, and Hunt had it go off his chest. I don't know if he was ready for that pass. Out of bounds, and here comes your man. Ian DeBose checking back in. Osuji, who's had some real good minutes tonight.
Oh, great minutes.
Going to get a breather.
Very efficient.
15 points. His career high, by the way, is at McNeese earlier, just a week ago. 19 points that game. Gates, left side, goes to Bonds. Bonds looks inside to Hart, but they go out top instead to Dalton. Ty's going to drive in, leave it on the baseline, and we're going to get a blocking foul underneath. It's going to be on Brown, and it'll send Ty Dalton to the free throw line.
Well, Lewis has 3 fouls, and they have that isolation. I wouldn't be afraid to go into Ed right there and get Lewis out of this contest.
56-53. Under 6 minutes to go, and Dalton with the first free throw. One more to come. Talton is going to check back in. Jayshawn Talton for the Islanders. Kyle Brown will check out. Dalton's second free throw, perfect. Huskies needed those 2. It's up to 5 now, 58-53. Dalton is in double digits with 10.
77% from the stripe the season for Ty Dalton.
Fans calling for defense. They feed it down, low blocks to Lewis. He gets it underneath to Talton, and Talton stands his ground and goes up over Hart with the shot off the bank, and it's good. Back to 3, 58-55. Ian's going to drive in left side. Shot rolls around the iron and won't go, and the rebound pulled down by Lewis. Gives it off to South. He lost it for a second, but gets it right back and hurries it up the floor. Leave it for Lewis down in the low blocks. He turns around to the baseline, puts up a wild shot, won't go, and Bonds there to clear it for the Huskies. He's off on the run and going to try to jam it down through. Lost the control, and Tony takes it out. Gives it to Gray. He's going to drive in and gets it to go, and they call a foul on Dalton. And Gray could tie this up at the free throw line.
Yeah, layup on one end turns into a foul on the other for the Huskies. And a lot of contact on both ends.
Hindsight's always 20/20, but Braxton might have been better off just trying to lay that one up.
Yeah, I agree. DeBose went up a few minutes ago. Looked like there was some contact there. So
Gray ties this game up, and that is our first tie of the night. 58-58. We've got a timeout as Bonds gets it across the midcourt line, and Coach Cottrell wants to talk it over. And this will become a full timeout, so we'll take the break with the teams on the floor. All knotted up. This turned into a 5-minute game. We'll be back with the finish on the Husky Sports Network.
It would be great if human beings were great at being human. And if all of mankind were made up of kind women and kind men. It would be wonderful if common knowledge was knowledge commonly known. And if the light from being enlightened into every heart was shown. It would be glorious if neighbors were neighborly, and indifference a forgotten word. It would be awesome if we shared everything, and being greedy was absurd. It would be spectacular if the golden rule was golden to every man, and the good things that we ever did was everything that we can.
Treating others like we'd like to be treated has always been our guiding principle.
Marriott Houston West Chase, a proud partner of HBU Athletics.
You're listening to the Husky Sports Network, powered by DNA Studios.
Corpus Christi Islanders have erased a 10-point halftime deficit, and they've drawn even with the HBU Huskies here at Sharp tonight. And we've got 4 minutes and 56 seconds to go in a tie ball game. 58-58, and it's going to be a sprint to the finish, Neil.
Yeah, it will be. Both teams are playing really well, and usually the team that makes the fewest mistakes and the team that makes the most free throws that usually comes away with a victory.
Well, you don't want to dwell on it for too long, but the Huskies have made just 8 of 15 free throws here in the second half, and you hope that doesn't come back to bite them. We're waiting on some housekeeping down to our left here. There's a wet spot. I don't know if somebody spilled a drink near the court or what, but Doug George wants it cleaned up, and now we're ready to go. Bonds, Gates, Dalton, DeBose, and Hart, the 5 on the floor for Ron Cottrell. Bonds with the dribble, left side angle. He's going to give it to DeBose. DeBose right side, going to go by Talton, pulls up, puts up a jumper, won't go. I think somebody got a hand on it. Talton clears it on the run. The Islanders looking for their first lead of the night. Talton swinging around left angle to South. He's going to go to the baseline, puts up a jumper, won't go, and the rebound tipped out to Dalton on the run. 2-on-1. Ty's going to go up, lays it off the glass for 2. Huskies get it to Dalton. He's got 12, and they're back up by 2.
Well, I hope the pace of this is in favor of the Huskies. I hope it speeds up the Islanders here, and we'll see if they can take care of the basketball. And actually don't want to overemphasize the importance of this contest, but it's a big game here at home, and Huskies trying to get back in the mix here. And
Ed Hart draws his 3rd foul. And it brings us to another timeout on the floor. 3 minutes and 59 seconds to go. The Huskies up by 2, 60-58 on the Husky Sports Network.
At Shipley Donuts, we make our donuts from scratch every single day. Nothing trucked in, frozen. And we are Texas born and raised since 1936. Not like those other guys. Shipley Donuts.
Rolling up on a cheap price feels good, but cheap comes with risk. Heart surgeons, pilots, no one hires a cheap one of them. Fact is, certain things must be done right. Installing electricity in Houston schools and hospitals needs to be built with manpower that spent 10,000 hours training to do their job. So for heart surgeons to do their job, we must do ours. Skilled labor isn't cheap, and cheap labor isn't all that skilled.
The time is now to hire IBEW electricians.
At Holiday Inn Express, we can't guarantee that you'll be able to contain yourself at our breakfast bar.
Morning, egg white omelet. What's up, lady bacon? Fruit? There it is.
But we can guarantee that you'll get the best price when you book with us.
Holiday Inn Express. Be the readiest.
Hi, I'm Ron Cottrell. Thanks for listening to HBU Basketball on the DNA Husky Sports Network.
Corpus Christi Islanders have out-rebounded the Huskies here in the second half, and they have actually taken an edge in the rebounding column, 33-32. Offensive boards are even up at 11, and the Islanders the 22-21 edge on the defensive boards.
Yeah, the Islanders have tied it, but I don't think they've taken the lead. Is that correct, Lonnie? So this is...
One tie is all we've had tonight, and maybe 2 now if Talton gets his second free throw. The first one goes for him, 60-59. And he does get it to go. We're tied again for the second time, 60 all. 3:55 to go. Bonds up the floor, sets up right angle. Babick back out there on the floor. To Osuji, back to Bonds. Braxton into the paint. He floats it up. The teardrop finds the court.
Much needed basket for the Huskies. They need a little more cushion. 4-6-0 run would be nice.
Kareem South. Left angle, out top to Tony. They play pitch and catch, and now there's an offensive foul called on Lewis, and Lewis reacts to the call. So does Willis Wilson. I think he's fortunate that Brad Fowler had his back to him.
Yes.
Or he might have drawn more than just the personal foul there.
Fowler kind of jogged away from the situation, which was good.
Huskies by 2 as they come back up the floor. Here's a feed down on the baseline to Dalton from Bonds, and he lays it in for 2.
Yeah, Dalton having a big game tonight and set up by Bonds.
14 points for Ty. Huskies with a 2-possession lead, and here's a whistle away from the basketball. They're going to get Osuji for a foul on South away from the ball. Osuji picks up just his second foul. Ty, by the way, does have a new career high with these 14 points tonight. His previous high was at Incarnate Word last week, 11. Or last game, I should say. I think I said last week. Last game on Wednesday night. Here, South goes to the free throw line. Made the first one more to come. And it is good. Back to a 2-point game, 64-62. And the Islanders are going to apply some full court pressure. Bonds to DuBose up ahead. They get it to Dalton. He's cut off on the baseline. He'll dribble back to the middle of the floor.
Got plenty of time, Lonnie.
2:42 to go. 14 on the shot clock. Bonds with the dribble. Almost lost it. Saves it. Goes back to the middle. Going to force one up, but he got it to go.
2 big baskets for Braxton Bonds here in the last minute.
Here's a whistle on the opposite end. Bonds tumbles over himself, but he's going to draw a personal foul.
Yeah, you don't want to be over-aggressive at this point and just put them at the free throw line. They had a pretty good night against Abilene Christian. They were 19-24, Lonnie, on Wednesday night. So they don't need any help from that free throw line.
Yeah, let's don't give them easy buckets with no time coming off the clock. But as we say that, Tony bounces one off the rim. One more to come. Schmidt's going to check back in. Lewis will check out. Babbitt checks out, and Gray's back out on the floor. Second free throw, no good, and Hart with the rebound. He's going to hang on to it, find some friends, and he'll give it off to Dalton, who will find Bonds, and they'll bring it up.
Huge rebound for Ed.
2:12 to go. Osuji to the middle, cut off by Schmidt, but he dishes it back out top to Bonds. Down to 10 on the shot clock. 2 minutes to go in the ball game. Bonds drives in, and the ball is tipped away. No, they're going to say it was knocked out of bounds by the Huskies. Now,
I hope they look at that, Lonnie. That's big. It's really big.
Doug George said it was out off the Huskies. Stephen Chiara came over, and he may have said that he saw it go off the fingertips of one of the Islanders, and now they'll take a look at it.
Yeah, I really think they need to. At this juncture, that's tough.
Exactly.
I don't know. I couldn't tell. So
yeah, it did look like from this angle anyway. And again, we're directly across from where the pass was, but it looked like that ball did change direction a little bit. So
good.
I don't know if they'll get a good enough look though on the monitor to be able to tell.
To be able to overturn that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly 2 minutes to go. Brad Fowler and Doug George still looking at the replay.
Hey, you've got those younger eyes than I do, Lonnie King.
You think?
Yes. Hey, you saw the ball change direction. I did not see that. So,
okay.
Hey, I'm impressed.
Maybe I was looking with blue-colored glasses. They're going to say it did not. You were right. I was wrong.
No, I saw nothing. And,
Islander basketball.
Jeez. Big defensive possession now for HBU. Really need a stop here.
2 minutes to go, a 2-possession game, but the Islanders going to try to cut it down to 1 here. Tony into the forecourt. Picked up by Bonds. Goes over the middle, left side to South. He's going to put up a jumper, and he gets it to go from the baseline. Kareem South with 13 points now. He's right at his average for the season. And it's back to a 2-point game. Huskies with the lead and the basketball, but just up by 2. DeBose dishes out on the wing to Osuji.
I don't think you want to hold the ball too long if you're one of these guards. You really got to move around and try to get a quality look here.
Kick ball by Talton as Osuji was trying to send a bounce pass down low to Hart. He put 20 on the shot clock.
Both teams.
1:22 to go.
Yeah, both teams have 2 timeouts.
Bonds gets it into DeBose. Ian, take charge guy in this situation, finds Hart underneath, and he'll jam it down through. And it's back to 4. Gray in through traffic, stolen away by Dalton. Huskies off on the run. The Islanders catch up, so Dalton will bring it back out, circle around, and give it to Braxton Bonds. Under a minute to go, and now Gray fouls Bonds.
Wow, what an exclamation point by Ed Hart. Found himself all alone in the paint, grabs it, slams it down, and
Bonds will get a couple of free throws here, and you got to figure they're going to spend a lot of time at the free throw line in this last minute, so you got to make those, and the first one goes off the iron.
He's got to get that ball above the rim and give it a chance, nothing else. Get up on those toes, young man.
68-64, second free throw too strong, and saved by Talton on the baseline, so he doesn't get either one.
It's still a 2-possession game, though.
Right. Gray will get it in the hands of South, and South almost has it stolen, but they're going to call Ed Hart for the foul. Well, I guarantee if Ed was 6'1" instead of 6'10", he wouldn't have gotten that call. But the officials just aren't used to seeing a big guy go to the deck like that.
He's gone to the deck quite a bit tonight.
Two free throws for South, 43.8 to go, and South gets the first one here, one more to come.
Yeah, if you're the Huskies, you need to expect some full court pressure here.
Bonds is going to check out, and Gates will come in. That's a free throw shooter exchange there.
That's exactly right, Lonnie.
Second one no good, and Hart with the board. It's a 3-point game, 40 seconds to go. Osuji, who's a good shooter at the line, brings it up. It's going to be fouled from behind by South, and that'll send Suge to the line for 2 with 34 seconds left.
Yeah, he needs at least one of these to make it a 2-possession contest. You cannot go 0-2 from that free throw line in a crucial situation like this. Expect to win.
Well, Bonds is ready to check back in for defensive purposes here. Osuji at the line.
Yeah, you got to make both to get him back in. Yep. That's the thing. So
first one is good.
Oh, okay. I thought he was going in for Osuji, but he's going in for Gage, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gates is out there for his offense.
See, I make him go in for that shooter. I make that shooter make that free throw.
There you go. Back to a 2-possession game. Osuji can make it 5, and he does. Clutch free throws there, 70-65, 33 seconds to go. South up the floor in a hurry. They're going to let him get to the rack. He gets the lay-in, and a timeout called by Willis Wilson with 29.2 seconds to go.
I wonder if Coach Cottrell's going to make that switch again with Bonds, because they're going to have to foul immediately.
Yeah.
The Islanders are, so we'll see.
I would have to think that he will do that.
It's a two-edged sword, though. Bonds is a very good ball handler as well, so.
And that bucket, I mean, I know you don't want to foul on the defensive end, but that bucket came just a little too quick.
Great.
And South got an easy lane to the hoop. Made it pay. Trying to check up here on Sam Houston State and SFA. SFA is our next opponent on Wednesday night, and Sam Houston State is all over the Lumberjacks tonight, 78-56, with about 8 minutes to go in that game.
Is that in Huntsville?
Yep, it is. Sam Houston State is on a roll right now. They're about to pick up their 9th conference win, assuming they'll hang on to that 22-point lead at home with 8 minutes left. Huskies now will face some full court pressure on the inbounds pass, and Dalton will go to the back line to get it in. He can run the line, and he will move around looking to get it inbounds, and he's going to call a timeout. Smart move by Dalton, nothing there.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what Coach Cottrell said. Hey, we've got 2 timeouts. If we can't get it in, don't make a mistake, and heads up play that time.
Now Jackson Stent's going to check in. I think they're going to let Ed sit this one out. Jackson a little bit quicker on the floor, step or two quicker than Ed, and so maybe he's more mobile on the inbounds play.
Yeah, I think that's a good substitution. That's another thing the assistant coach has to be aware of. Are those my best 5 free throw shooters in the contest? And big part of Stephen Key's job. And
well, you know they want to get it to a good shooter on the inbounds pass because, as you mentioned just a minute ago, there's probably going to be a foul right away.
And sometimes your inbounder can be your best shooter because he can kick it in and get it back to him, and they'll foul him immediately. So we'll see what happens. Maybe we can get an intentional or something along those lines.
Dalton trying to get it in, and he will get it to Stent, and Stent's going to be fouled immediately by Hunt.
They're looking for a travel, but no, he was pushed. That's why he traveled.
They called the foul on Irshad Hunt. It's just his second, so we'll walk to the opposite end, and some big free throws here for Jackson. Stent, a 74% shooter at the line. Perfect on the first one.
That's big because that makes it a 2-possession contest here. And
checking in for the Islanders, number 21, Trey Gray.
Substitutions for the Islanders. Lewis checks back in. Trey Gray does as well. Stent with one more here.
If you're the Huskies, you don't need to foul. You just need to move your feet and play smart. Make it a tough shot for them, but don't give it to them.
Both of them good by Stent. Now we're going to get a whistle and a foul on the defensive end for HBU. Osuji called for reaching in. He's not happy about that call. But South will go to the free throw line with 22 seconds left.
Yeah, you've got to be careful. You got to be above reproach with those.
South is a good free throw shooter, and he gets the first one to go here.
Taking it for the Huskies, number 22, Jalen Yates.
72-68. South with one more free throw to come here. And the screen team tries to distract him on the baseline, but he gets them both. DeBose in between 2 defenders, gets it up ahead to Osuji, and Suge is going to dribble out, and he's going to be fouled by Tony. And Suge can go back to the line and make this a 2-possession game again with 14.8 to go.
And definitely a young man that Coach Cottrell wants at the free throw line. Has hit some key free throws tonight. Just needs 2 would be nice, but 1 would be okay as well.
Now let's get greedy. He made the first one. Let's go ahead and get the second
yeah,
one.
I agree. But you do not need to foul if you're the HBU Huskies.
Right.
Just make it tougher on them.
Yeah, don't let them
run
get
some
up the floor in
clock.
3
exactly.
seconds.
Yeah, full court pressure is fine. be on the basket side of your player. That's all you need to do, run some clock. And
second one rolls off. South will bring it up. Osuji picks him up into the corner to Talton. He goes back to South. A three off the iron, won't go, but we're going to get a whistle and a foul called on Gray underneath. And that's going to do it. With 4.8 to go, the Huskies will go to shoot some free throws on the opposite end. It's either Stent or Dalton that's going to get to shoot him, I think. Nope, it's Braxton Bonds going to the line. But you've got a 2-possession lead with 4.8 to go.
Yeah.
This would be a huge win for HBU. Bonds short there. His teammates come over.
Usually you pull everybody off the line so you don't foul. But in this situation with only 4.8, trust those guys.
Misses on purpose the second one, and South brings it up. He's going to fire away the three. Got it to go at the buzzer. It'll wind up a 1-point win for the Huskies, but it's a win no matter what. 73-72 is our final tonight. The Huskies pick up their second consecutive win in conference play. They move to 3-6. And drop the Islanders of A&M-Corpus Christi to 4-4 in league play. We're going to take a timeout. Neil and I will come back and put a wrap on this one on the Huskies postgame report straight ahead on the Husky Sports Network.
Are you a graduate of Houston Baptist University? Did you know the value of your degree increases when you actively participate in the HBU Alumni Association? Your Alumni Association actively supports the growth, retention, and ranking of our school by our scholarship efforts. Husky Alumni Network volunteers actively work to recruit the best and brightest to HBU, and we promote and support programs intended to build a growing network of people committed to quality, higher Christian education through our alumni scholarship efforts. We also work to strengthen the bond between our university and the community, and we're your connection to over 18,000 fellow alumni, mostly in and around the Houston metro area. Log on to learn more about our mission and your privileges and benefits at hbu.edu/alumni. And find us via social media on Facebook at the Houston Baptist University Alumni Association page and on Twitter and Instagram at HBU_alumni. But no matter how you do it, connect with the HBU Alumni Association, because a strong alumni base equals a strong HBU.
The real story is I'm in here every morning and have sampled just about every kolache that they make here.
Bacon, egg, and cheese on wheat for me, and then the rest is for the office. So yes, I'll pick up every Friday. I'll stop by here and pick up some for my group.
Well, I used to think it was just fruit-filled stuff, and then I came here and there's eggs and bacon and cheese and all kinds of good stuff in there. It's like a whole breakfast and a bun. It's great.
It's always a good thing if you can eat healthy and not know it.
When you drive down the street looking for something to eat, you're going to pass 5 places to buy a sandwich, 6 places to buy a burger. There's only one place you can get a kolache, and that's Kolache Factory. It's delicious. You're going to have people that try to copy you, but they're not going to do it as well. We know what we're doing. We've been doing it for 25 years. We do it the best, and our success proves that.
Houston's own Kolache Factory, the freshest, highest quality, best tasting kolaches in town. Over 50 Houston area locations and a proud partner of HBU Athletics.
Pepsi's always had great taste. Today, try great taste with zero sugar. This is the Pepsi with zero compromises. This is Pepsi Zero Sugar.
This is the Pepsi that gets you stuff. Like tickets to...
What's up, everybody? I'm Dirk Spelling.
Who doesn't love Pepsi stuff? Drink Pepsi, get stuff.
Run with UA Map My Run. With your UA connected footwear, you can leave your phone behind. However, if you choose to run with it, the UA Map My Run app will give map views of your route and a deeper look at your workout with additional stats.
We are Under Armour. The future is ours.
Under Armour. We're passionate, delivering expert neurological care for adults and children. We're dedicated, responding to neurotrauma and stroke with LifeFlight in our Level 1 Trauma Center. We're persistent, restoring lives at our Tier Rehabilitation and Research Hospital. We are Memorial Hermann. And we're making neurological neuroscience breakthroughs every day.
4 Points by Sheraton. Always a great stay. Everything you need. Plus extras you love. All for a great rate. Over 150 hotels around the world. Travel the way you like. Check us out at 4points.com.
You're listening to the Husky Sports Network, powered by DNA Studios.
And welcome back into a jubilant Sharp Gym, the Sharp Tank on the campus of Houston Baptist University, as the Huskies come away with what turns out to be a 1-point win tonight, 73-72. The Huskies had a 10-point lead at the halftime break, 32-22, and it looked like we were on pace for about a 50-point game, but both teams picked up the scoring pace in the second half. The Huskies outscored by 9 in the final 20 minutes, but that still adds up to a victory.
It does, and it's a huge victory going into Wednesday night with Stephen F. Back-to-back victories now for the Huskies, and can't say enough about the efforts tonight of Stephen Osuji as well as Ty Dalton. Both of them really stepped it up offensively. Osuji with 18 points, 9 of 12 from the free throw line, and then Ty Dalton with 14 points. So, you know, sometimes DeBose, they were keying in on him, and that's what a good team does. Other people step up, and those two young men really stepped it up tonight.
They did, and you know, they really have, and this is 3 games in a row now where they've displaced Oliver Lynch-Daniels and Philip McKenzie in the starting lineup, and they've really contributed in key ways in all 3 games that they've started.
Yeah, as well as Uloco. You can't underestimate him. He had 12 points. I mean, he was big. Ed didn't play a lot in the first half, but Uloco stepped up, did a great job on both ends of the floor, and wow, key contributors tonight for the Huskies, man. They needed every one tonight as well.
Yeah, they did. The other interesting thing is the Huskies are, for a while looked like they were going to be a perimeter shooting team, but now they've gotten to where they really pounded inside, and this number, points in the paint tonight, 44-22 edge for HBU, kind of emphasizes that point.
Yeah, they basically came out at the beginning with their 11-0 run and punched the Islanders in the face and said, hey, that's how it's going to be tonight. And the Islanders, of course, they're going to make their run, and they did, and they shot well with Kareem South in the second half. But, you know, I believe you said it, that they never took the lead. They got even, the Islanders did, but I think that was a mental factor for HBU. They never relinquished that lead and made big plays down the road and hit some big free throws, especially Osuji.
Yeah, and, you know, it's hard to say. Every team is different, but sometimes with a younger team, and the Huskies still have a lot of young guys on this squad that haven't played together more than a half season, but you know, there is something psychologically deflating about leading a game for a long time, then giving up the lead, even if it's only by a bucket or two. It kind of takes a little bit of air out of your sails, and they didn't do that tonight.
No, they didn't. They held their composure. You know, they made a few mistakes here and there, but they never relinquished it. Especially on the defensive end, they really stepped up and made some huge plays tonight and did a good job on the boards, and that was a factor. You talked about how big rebounds were tonight for the Islanders, and, you know, it was a pretty even game as far as rebounds. Islanders won by 1 as far as the rebounding count, but, wow, HBU, I'm impressed tonight. They really stepped up and did all the things they need to do to beat a good team.
Yeah. Well, you were kind of worried at times in the second half about free throw shooting, and they wind up just shooting 13 of 25 in the second half. But when they needed them in the clutch situations, they got them late in the game. And I think you got to attribute a lot of that to the coaching moves by Coach Cottrell, making sure he got free throw shooters out there within the last couple of minutes of the ball game.
I think there's no question. He continued to make offensive and defensive changes, and he had the right people in the game at the right time, and that's a big part of coaching. And what a great job of the Husky coaching staff tonight. Couldn't have done a better job. And wow, 2 in a row feels pretty good, Lonnie, and 3 in a row would feel even better. So this is the time to break through. I mean, You got Stephen F. coming on the road. You play very, very well here, and it's a chance. It's an opportunity to really play some good basketball and come away with another victory. They haven't had a ton of success. You've been around the Husky program against SFA in the past. So, this is time. It's time.
Well, and it's one of those seasons where obviously Sam Houston State has kind of pulled out from the pack, but everybody else is going to look like they're going to be bunched together for the entire season. So you want to keep yourself right there in the thick of things and give yourself a chance. You got to figure it's going to be one of those years where if you can get to the tournament, you got to think you've got a pretty good shot at making it to the final.
You do. You've basically got 5 weeks left in the regular season. You mentioned taking care of business at home, and I think they will, and you're going to have to steal some on the road.
Huskies are led tonight by Stephen Osuji, who finishes with 18 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists on 4 of 7 from the floor, 1 of 3 from the three-point line, and 9 of 12 at the free throw line tonight. He's joined in double figures by Ty Dalton, who had a career-high 14 points, 5 of 6 from the floor for Ty, 4 of 6 at the free throw line, and 12 off the bench from Ben Uloko. Coach Key, the assistant coach Stephen Key, was talking in our pregame segment with him about how Coach Cottrell is always talking to the team about you never know when it's going to be your night to step up. And those 3 guys probably didn't come into this one thinking they were going to, perhaps they did, and maybe that's the reason why they were able to step up.
Well, they've earned their spot. They've earned a starting spot. They both stepped up, and they're rewarded for doing what the team needs, and just a great overall effort tonight.
Kareem South leads all scorers. He finishes with 24 points for A&M-Corpus Christi. The only other Islander in double figures was Trey Gray. He finishes up with 12 tonight. The Huskies, though, a 1-point winner, 73-72. And we hope to have Coach Cottrell come out and chat with us in just a moment. But right now, we will take a break on the Husky Sports Network and come back with more after this.
Houston Federal Credit Union and Houston Baptist University have joined forces to put the howl back in your finances. HFCU offers several products and services such as auto loans, mortgages, and credit cards. And HFCU has a financial education program, Elevate, which is tailored to helping you increase your financial knowledge. Stop by any of our convenient locations or visit our website, www.houstonfcu.org, and experience the credit union difference today. Dogs up.
I'm Robin.
And I'm Chris.
We're the brothers behind Firehouse Subs.
Back when we were firemen, when it came to food, we said it better be something good and a lot of it.
That's what you get at Firehouse Subs. Take our hook and ladder sub. Smoked turkey breasts, Virginia honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese, all steam heated and piled high on a toasted sub roll.
Our way beats their way. If you don't agree, it's free.
You're going to cover that, right?
My money's on the sub.
Love the confidence.
Firehouse Sub, founded by firemen.
International Brotherhood of Electric Workers, Local 716 in Houston, get up for work each day because we believe building schools to code matters. Because building Houston's hospitals correctly saves lives. Because training for 10,000 hours makes a difference. That's why we get up, because we want to make a difference. To be the best, hire the best.
IBEW, where skill and value lock arms. The time is now to hire IBEW electricians.
This is Ron Cottrell. You're listening to Huskies basketball on the DNA Husky Sports Network.
And we're back here at Sharp Gym, a happy place tonight as the Huskies come away with a 73-72 win. And we are joined by the head coach, Ron Cottrell. And, Coach, none of them are easy, but Your guys, I thought, did a great job tonight. First of all, this was one of those games where the script was flipped. You had a big lead at the half and then had to hold off a charge in the second half by the opponent tonight.
Well, and that's what we've been talking to our guys about, is that we want to have that lead so that when we get in situations, we're not trying to fight our way back. We're trying to hang on, and we're trying to extend leads and use our energy in doing that, as opposed to trying to just fight our way and scrap our way back into ball games. But in this conference, you can't rest until the final buzzer, because everybody's just going to keep coming at you. Every game we played has been these type of games, it seems like, and we were fortunate enough to come out on top tonight. I thought our guys finished the game much better, more like what we did the other night against Incarnate Word. We did the things that we need to do to play smart and play well down the stretch to finish a game.
And we were talking toward the end of the game there that some of the moves that you made to get guys out there, especially when you knew they were going to go to the line.
Yeah.
And you got your free throw shooters out there on the offensive end of the floor to give yourself a better chance to stay out there.
Yeah, I can't say enough for Jackson. I mean, Jackson, we've watched him do it all in practice all the time. And he was a really good free throw shooter in junior college. But until you've been in a pressure situation, he hadn't done that for us in anything like this situation this year. And so for him to step up and hit 2 free throws that were really, really big for us was really good. And I mean, we were doing situational substitution there late, trying to make sure we had the guys we wanted on the court defensively and offensively. And we didn't rebound nearly as well as I'd like. That was a key. I thought we turned it over too much, but we forced them into turnovers as well.
Yeah, one of the things that came up, and I wanted to ask you about, is the fact that you guys never did relinquish the lead tonight. They tied you a couple of times in the second half, but you never gave up the lead. Is there any emotional or psychological value to not turning the lead over to your opponent late in the game?
I think so. I think anytime you look up at the scoreboard and all of a sudden you go, oh no, they got the lead. So long, yeah, exactly. I think that anytime you can answer the bell when they tie you up, that's a big emotional lift for your team, that you answer that tie, that you go, all right, this isn't going to happen. We're going to come back down. We're going to have a really good possession on the offensive end and get the points that we need to get to extend our lead back. And I think that's a sign of growth by our team. I think our guys are starting to play with a little more confidence, more like we were playing earlier in the year. And so now I think we're kind of getting a little bit back on a roll. How long that lasts in this league, you never know.
Well, SFA is next on the grid. They got beaten pretty good tonight by Sam Houston. So they'll probably be looking.
They'll be raring to go. There's no doubt.
Be ready to go on Wednesday. But before we talk about that one, again, Stephen Osuji and Ty Dalton, since they've been inserted into the lineup, they have responded very well to those changes.
Yeah, Stephen is a fifth-year senior, knows what we need out of him. Strong, physical, gets to the rim, finishes through contact, knocks down his free throws. The things that you need to do in a late-game situation, he answers those bells. I mean, that's big for us. And then Ty is just a smart, heady, basketball player. He doesn't look flashy. He's not the best athlete out there, but he knows what he needs to do to be able to be effective. And he's great with hesitation dribbles and spin moves and all the little things that typically we call him a church league player. He's an old school kind of guy.
45-year-old guy.
Yeah, he's an old school guy that figures out a way to be effective, even though he may not be the best athlete on the floor.
The other guy that comes to mind is Ben Yoloko. I thought he was well suited for the pace of the game, especially in the first half tonight.
Yeah, we knew obviously Ed got in foul trouble early, and that meant more minutes for Ben, first of all. But second of all, we knew with Tony Lewis out there, Tony's a really good player. We really like Tony coming out of high school and out of junior college, but he's a mobile big guy that we felt like was a good matchup for Ben. He could play with him out there on the floor and then bang with him down low as well. And I thought he did a great job as a freshman out there going against a guy who's been down the road a little bit.
Well, now look ahead to Wednesday. SFA is coming into Sharp Gym. You got them at home, though.
For the first time in forever, it seems like.
Yeah, it does seem that way. But this time they won't have guys like Walk Up or Parker or those guys.
No, they have Bogues now.
They've got Bogues, but they have struggled at times this year, and it's a game that I'm sure you're going to want to try and grab at home.
Absolutely. First thing is we've got to get our fans out here. That's the number one thing. We had a great crowd tonight. Thought they were very into the game, very excited about seeing us play and being involved in the game. And we've got to have that same type of crowd back here on Wednesday, because I know SFA is going to bring people. Everywhere they go, they've got fans coming to games, and so we've got to pack this gym with orange and blue people, not purple. And so it's going to be important for our fans to show up and be loud and be ready to go, and then for our guys to respond to that and know that they're on their home court with a great crowd, but we've got to use that to our advantage and get some momentum out of that.
All right, we'll see you then.
Sounds great.
Ron Cottrell, the head coach of the Huskies, will take a quick timeout and come back and put a wrap on this one with Neil Raphael after this on the Husky Sports Network.
If Raising Cane's one love was rock music, they would rock harder than any rock band ever. Their tours would sell out before they were announced. Their backstage parties would be the stuff of legend, attended by unicorns and the head of Louis XIV. Hotel rooms would trash themselves out of respect. But Raising Cane's one love isn't rock music. It's making the perfect chicken finger meal every single time. Raising Cane's one love.
At Shipley Donuts, we make our donuts from scratch every single day. Nothing trucked in, frozen. And we are Texas born and raised since 1936. Not like those other guys. Shipley Donuts.
Well, back here one final time from Sharp Gym, Neil. The post-game interviews are always a lot more fun after a win than a loss. Plenty of heroes to go around tonight as well.
Yeah, just an exceptional team effort tonight. Everybody stepped up, everybody pitched in, and they really never relinquished the lead, and they made the plays when they needed to, and a lot of momentum going into Wednesday night.
And what this does, though, is make Wednesday night a much more important game for the Huskies to try and draw a little closer to the 500 mark in the conference. And we'll see how they do against the SFA team that's struggled a little bit lately.
Yeah, we will see. They always play well at home, so I give them a good shot.
Well, for Neil Raphael, I'm Lonnie King for the entire HBU TV crew that brought you this one, and the Husky Sports Network crew. Thanks for being a part of it. We'll see you on Wednesday night right here in Sharp Gym on the Husky Sports Network.
You've been listening to HBU Husky